now for Dowling Catholic High School football.
Here on Iowa Catholic Radio as we get set for Dowling and Ankeny tonight, the opening night of district football, District 1, and it's Dowling hosting Ankeny, the Hawks, here on Iowa Catholic Radio and the Central Iowa Sports Network. We're streaming at CISN.TV. Mark Amadale joined by John Chido, who'll be on the sidelines tonight for the Maroons, and Matt Maynard, the principal and color commentator in the booth. Matt, welcome.
Thank you, Mark.
John, you warmed up tonight because the temperature dropped 30 degrees from yesterday.
Well, we finally have football weather, Mark.
Yeah.
It's finally here.
Now, before we get going, Matt, I want to indulge our listeners. John is one of the 8th grade head coaches for Dowling, and we did not talk about them once. They had one game. They got rained out last Monday. A week ago, you had season opener, and you welcomed how many kids, John? And you had a victory.
Well, we have 50 kids on the team. We have two teams of about 25 each, and the first game we won 37-0. Kids played hard, did some great things on both sides of the ball. The second game we lost in the last seconds, 12-8, but the kids fought to the finish. So it's a great group of kids, and it should be an exciting season.
We want to recognize the coaches, Coach Flood, Coach Hagan, and there are a couple more.
Well, we got Coach Schumacher's our offensive coordinator. It's his second year. All of us are their second year. Coach Flood's the head coach and defensive coordinator. Rod Hagan is the quarterback coach and defensive line coach, and then Kyle Hansen is O-line coach.
Well, congratulations to the Dowling 8th grade team winning their first game of the year, and rained out against Urbandale last Tuesday, and then you have another game that's coming up this Tuesday. Is that correct?
Yeah, we play Waukee Prairie View Middle School at Waukee on Tuesday at 4:45.
All right, now we got that in. I want to be sure of that we didn't last week, and I apologize to the 8th grade team. They are part of the Dowling program. Matt Maynard, the Maroons coming off a rare loss, 14-7 to Centennial. It was a non-district game. It does mean a lot because if the playoffs were held today, Dowling does not make the playoffs. So they have a new RPI system going on. The Maroons are 18th on the RPI. They only take 16. Bounce back week and district opener, Matt.
District opener, looking back at the last couple of weeks, I know defensively for the Maroons, they're really looking at stopping the big plays. That's the one thing that's kind of been the Achilles heel is that one breakdown. The defense has played so well throughout every ball game, and as we go back through time, you look at it's one play here or there, and if the offense is struggling a little bit, that defense has to pitch a shutout, and we've been one play away from winning 2 ball games defensively.
Yeah, and as Coach Wilson will talk about in the upcoming coaches segment, he talked about that last play. The Maroons gave up a 80-yard run at the end of the game to just a couple of missed tackles, but it shouldn't have come down to that. There were opportunities the Maroons had on the board, a touchdown call back and penalties, and John Chido, you're down there, and I could feel the frustration. I think I can hear Coach Wilson's frustration through you, but that is frustrating, especially when you have penalties at the wrong time or even during a drive. They are drive killers, and they create inconsistency on the offense.
They sure do. I mean, it's hard to get in a rhythm. Other than that first drive out of the start of the ball game, we went 70 yards, no penalties. The tempo was up tempo, and it was great. And then we didn't see that type of tempo until late in the game, and then we got it down inside the 2-yard line, and went for potentially going with the go-ahead touchdown, and then got called back with penalties with the go-ahead field goal that just missed, and then ended up giving up that one big play on defense, which ended up being the difference. So tempo is a big thing with this offense, and staying away from these penalties.
Penalties, and then you add on injuries. And the Maroons are without Carter Baumler the rest of the year. He broke his collarbone, and when he had that punt block, he tried to save a touchdown, and he did, but he ended up costing him a collarbone. So Drew Peterson will handle all the PAT and field goals, as he did against Ankeny Centennial, and Drew Johns will take over the punting duties for the remainder of the year, Matt.
And that was a pivotal play for us because we were in field goal range, and with Baumler's leg, it would have been that's well within his range where we were at, and it just changes your whole dynamic of thinking as a coach of what you're going to call on third down, knowing that you can't kick that field goal, and so you get a little more aggressive maybe on third down or try to get half of it. But it changes the dynamic, and Drew Peterson, to his credit, his kick did not miss by much.
No.
It was just missed, and for his first kick in the varsity game, that was a good thing. So
Yeah, and that'll be something we watch throughout the rest of the year. You're listening and watching tonight's game here on Iowa Catholic Radio and the Central Iowa Sports Network. Mark Amadale joined by John Chido, Matt Maynard. Pregame show about 25 minutes away from kickoff. And, the Ankeny Hawks, we talk about Dowling's schedule. The Maroons are losing to Valley, who is now currently ranked number 1 this week, and to Ankeny Centennial, who's currently ranked 3rd this week, and they're both undefeated. 2 of the 4 undefeated teams the Maroons already played. They defeated Waukee when Waukee was a top 10 team to start the year, and they knocked off number 1 Johnson. So tonight, gentlemen, Dowling has a team that's unranked in the Ankeny Hawks, but they've played a pretty good schedule themselves. They've lost to number 3 Centennial in the opening game, the Battle of Ankeny in week 1. They lost to Johnston in week 2, who are currently ranked number 6, and they lost to Cedar Falls 2 weeks ago at home. Last week, the only non-ranked team was Roosevelt that Ankeny Hawks defeated, and they beat them 42-0. So, Matt Mandring, the Hawks coming off a very tough non-district, and they're prepared for this opening night.
Yeah, they're ready, and they have a big. When watching some of their tape, they really look like a big play offense. They're trying to get down the field and extend the field vertically. Number 11, Brody Breck, for them is a good receiver. And Bauer, the quarterback, really seems to look for him first. And he's just got an outstanding set of hands, good speed. And they're going to try and stretch the field. They're going to pound it for a little bit and then go and stretch the field. See a couple formations where they had a lineman in the backfield at one point, but they're really going to be a team that follows the fullback, and that's what you're looking for here.
Well, the Ankeny Hawks are coached by 4th-year head coach Rick Nelson, who's a native of Urbandale, graduated Urbandale High School. Matter of fact, a year ahead of me. He was a 1979 class of Urbandale. I was a class of 80 at Dowling. So Rick was the offensive line coach at UNI under Coach Farley's staff up until 4 years ago. So he's brought all that talent to Ankeny, and they haven't let up a beat. And John Child, let's talk about the matchups. We'll start with the Dowling offense against the Ankeny defense. What do you see tonight? What does Dowling has to establish? And the Maroons, by the way, have a little bit of a change in their offensive line. Jesse Alger has moved from right guard to right tackle. He'll start there. And Joe Ryan gets his first start at right guard. So that is the one change to the Dowling offensive line, but we're going to see the rotation as the game moves through. Your thoughts on the matchup?
Well, Ankeny runs a 3-4 defense. They bring their defensive end or their outside linebackers up. They look like a defensive ends, and it kind of looks like a 5-2 front, a 5-man front. And I think Dowling's the short passing game needs to open up a little bit to start the game, to open up that running game, because as we've seen in the last 4 games, team defenses stack that box, and it's going to make Dowling pass the football. And I think with those short passing plays, that will open up that run game and get Jason Murray going a little bit.
All right, and Matt, Dowling's defense against Ankeny's offense. We're not going to see the type of offense we saw last week against the crosstown rival Centennial Jaguars, but what we're going to see out of the Ankeny Hawks for the Dowling defense tonight?
I think defensively for the Maroons tonight, you might see a little pressure. They're pretty young in their skill positions, and the Jace Bauer, the quarterback for Ankeny, I see us trying to pressure him and make him make some quick decisions and create some mistakes early. And they have this sophomore group that really looks strong right now, and for those kids, even though they've had a tough schedule up to this point, our pressure defensively consistently, I look to see some, a little more stunting maybe, or, give them a little more pressure blitz-wise and force them into some mistakes.
All right, we're going to take a break here on our pregame show. That's the matchup tonight, Dowling and Ankeny. District 1 4A opener here at Valley Stadium. Mark Hamadale, John Chido, and Matt Madring. We'll return. Up next, Tom Wilson of Dowling Catholic. I had a conversation with Coach Wilson talking about last week's loss to Ankeny Centennial and this week's game with the Ankeny Hawks here on Iowa Catholic Radio and the Central Iowa Sports Network.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
Building a strong community doesn't happen overnight. It takes a vision for the future. the ability to turn a challenge into a success, and individuals who inspire new generations of growth. Greater Des Moines has done a lot of growing over the years, and so have we. At Brick Gentry Law, your success is something that we create together. Thank you for making us a part of your community. Thank you for...
Hi, Ron here, head coach of Westside Auto Pros. When your car's on the injured reserve, you want to get it back in the game as soon as possible. I know that. That's why you need to bring it here to Westside Auto Pros. I have a team of experts that can fix almost every automotive injury. Whether it's a fractured joint, a brake, or if your car just got its bell rung, no problem. We can even do a complete physical on your car to make sure it's game ready for the entire season. So bring your car to Westside Auto Pros and we'll get it back in the starting lineup in no time. Hey, you guys are dogging it back here. Let's move it, move it, move it.
The other guys, they think they know what special means. At Godfather's Pizza, we do special, and we do it better. We add the T. There's a Godfather specialty pizza with your name on it. Classic combo, all meat combo, hot stuff, taco, yeah, even veggie and more. All of them piled high with the best toppings and 100% real cheese. Treat yourself special. Order special.
Welcome back to the pregame.
You want to get stronger, faster, healthier. You want more. You want to be part of something bigger than yourself. A place for people of all ages, all walks of life, that provides opportunities for all to succeed. We do that. We're the why. Build more than muscle. Build a stronger community.
There's no doubt about it. Saving feels great. At Mid-American Energy, we love saving too. Saving the environment by supporting tree planting, which improves air quality. Saving money by investing in wind energy, which keeps rates low. And saving you energy by providing tips to help make your home.
Ankeny Hawks tonight in District 1 Class 4A opener here at Valley Stadium. And Coach, what we know about Ankeny, they played one similar team, that's Centennial, to start the year off and got beat 20-0 in the Battle of Ankeny. But this is a very young team based on what you look at their two deeps. And Coach Nelson really is trying to gel these young kids to mix in with some of his juniors and seniors.
Well, he is, and this sophomore class is one that they've liked, obviously, since they first came up and through. And you know, it's a team with talent. I think defensively they're a really good defensive team. They play a 3-4 front, which is different than what we've seen. It can create an awful lot of problems. It's required us to make adjustments and changes, and so that's going to be one of the things to watch. But offensively, they've got a wide receiver that's as good as anybody, and a young quarterback, young running back that I think is pretty good. So across the board, I think they've got talent, and I think it's a dangerous team. And you know, they're ahead of Cedar Falls, who's one of the more highly regarded teams in the state of Iowa, and they're ahead of them 7-0 at the half and get beat 28-7, which special teams ended up really hurting them there. So it's a good team. We're going to have our hands full.
Hey, Coach, you look at starting for Ankeny on offense, a young quarterback, a sophomore in Jace Bauer. Cale Boyd was their leading rusher last week against Roosevelt, and he's a sophomore. So you mentioned the sophomores, but with that comes inexperience, but yet Coach Nelson believes they should be the ones out there. They give them the best chance to win, and I'm sure with the Dowling game plan defensively is to make them one-dimensional.
Well, it certainly is, and we've got to do a great job up front with them. But you know, they've got some guys, and even some of their veterans. Max Griffin, number 7, who's an outside linebacker, plays some wide receiver for them. I think is a really good player, and they've got others. You know, number 1, who was their Crawford, was their running back a year ago, and now he's playing outside linebacker. So they've moved some people around. You know, their scheme, as I mentioned, defensively is going to be a handful for us, and they've got some playmakers on offense, and most of those guys are going to contribute to their special teams. So they're not without talent, and they may be without experience, but as I mentioned, they didn't act like they were inexperienced against Cedar Falls.
This is with head coach Tom Wilson. Before tonight's game, it's Dowling and Ankeny in the District 1 Class 4A season opener here at Valley Stadium. And Coach, when the Dowling offense has the ball, you're going against an Ankeny defense. You mentioned some of the players. Some of them are two-way players for the Hawks, but obviously their linebackers are very active and a different front. And we'll go back to what you said in the first segment about blocking up front. It all starts there, whether you have an opportunity to run the ball or pass the ball. It all starts up front, and I think that's going to be the test tonight when the Maroons have the football.
There's no question. We have to move people, and you know, we spent a lot of time early in the season talking about, you know, the experience that we have coming back on our offensive line, and at the end of the day, we have to play like it. And at this point in time, we haven't. For whatever reason, we can sit here and try to figure out what it is, but at the end of the day, we haven't produced. And I can't remember 2 games in 1 year where we've had 1 touchdown. And you know, most of the time we've had really good offenses that's led the state in offense, and right now we're not that. And so we've still got some talent there that we've got to try to get the most out of, and I still think those guys up front can get the job done. But you're right, they're going to have to do the job. And you know, we can run inside, run outside, or throw the ball, but at the end of the day, it comes down to blocking and tackling.
Hey, Coach, the injury list got a little longer last week with the injury to not only Tegan Johnson, he'll be held out tonight, the backup running back for the Maroons at tailback and fullback, but also Carter Baumler out with the collarbone, and that's a big blow in the kicking game. As you mentioned, Drew Peterson had to come in and kick that field goal with probably very little reps, and that changes things sometimes with the field position.
Oh, there's no question it does. I mean, Carter obviously has known a lot about for his baseball, but he could have a football career if he wanted it, and he can kick and he can punt, and it's a blow to us. And I think the big thing is he's a great kid, and I feel terrible for him. And we'll see what happens towards the end of the year. But for right now, Drew Johns will take care of the punting, and who's probably improved as much as any kid that we have in the program, and Drew Peterson, who we've got faith in doing a lot of things. We talk all the time. There's very little Drew Peterson can't do, and he'll take care of our kicking, and we feel he'll do a great job there.
Well, Coach, best of luck tonight against Ankeny in the district opener. We look forward to talking to you at halftime and at the end of the game and the postgame show. Best of luck, Coach.
All right, thank you.
Head Coach Tom Wilson has been my guest here on the pregame show as Dowling takes on Ankeny in this district opener here at Valley Stadium. Up next, Matt Mandering and John Child rejoin the broadcast. You're listening to Dowling Catholic Football on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network and the Central Iowa Sports Network.
R.J. Nelson.
Every month or so, there's another story in the media about when and how often we need to get our mammograms. It's kind of confusing. When this happens, I like to consult with experts. So I called Iowa Radiology. They recommend women get an annual mammogram starting at age 40. They know that it's the best way to detect cancers early and save lives. And that's good enough for me. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule your mammogram.
Chevrolet September Closeout, featuring up to 20.
Kickoff between Dowling and Ankeny, and we heard Coach Wilson talk, Matt Mandering, a little bit about the game, and give us your thoughts before we go to our starting lineups here in a moment. Your thoughts about that conversation I had with Coach.
Yeah, Coach hits on a lot of points where, it starts at the top, and he takes responsibility for those things, and we have had some turnover in that defense, and the defense has stepped up, but it is a team game, and it'll be interesting. They did make those changes on the offensive line, and nothing else. It's a wake-up call. That offensive line is good, and we are fortunate that we have a little bit of depth, and throwing Joe Ryan in there, and to see the rotation tonight, and you got to keep kids hungry. If you start to be complacent and expect people to lay down for you, it's not going to happen. I mean, when you're Dowling Catholic, everybody's coming after you.
Well, they have already done that in the first four games, even though they were non-district. Currently, we have 62 degrees in Des Moines, partly cloudy skies, a very cool, crisp night as fall is set in a day early because tomorrow is the first day of fall. And I'm sure people will be enjoying that when they move up to Ames to watch Akron at Iowa State at 11 o'clock. And tomorrow night in Iowa City, as the Iowa Hawkeyes host a top 20 team in Wisconsin, a 7:30 kickoff. Might be a little chilly, Matt.
Might be a little chilly. This is the weather. This is what the sport's made for right here.
That's right.
It's a lot of fun to be out here on nights like this, get the crisp, fresh air, and this makes me think football.
Yes,
and
it does.
This is good stuff.
All right, let's take a look at our starting lineup tonight. First of all, for Dowling Catholic, at quarterback will be Zach Waters. He'll be in the backfield along with Levi Hummel, who will go two ways tonight for the Maroons. Number 48, Levi will start at fullback, and he'll also start at Mike linebacker. And the tailback is Jason Murray. He's backed up tonight by Chase Hauschild, as Tegan Johnson is not available tonight. He's out with a shoulder injury. Should be back next week. On the offensive line for the Maroons, the left tackle is Charlie Nank, the left guard is Alex Curtin, and Greg Hagan is the center. Two seniors and a junior there. Joe Ryan is a start at right guard, number 56, a 5'11", 240-pound junior. And Jesse Alger is the right tackle for the Maroons, number 79. So it's Nank, Curtin, Hagan, Ryan, and Alger on the offensive line, with Andrew Lynch being the tight end. Now let's take a look at the Ankeny Hawks under fourth-year head coach Rick Nelson. And tonight the Hawks will start at quarterback, and it's a youngster, a sophomore, Jace Bauer, and Matt Mainring and John Chatto talked about him. Jace is a 6'1" at 185-pound sophomore. He's backed up by Hayes Gibson, who was the starter last year, but Bauer beat him out for the job. At tailback will be Cale Boyd, another sophomore at 5'10", 163, and he'll wear number 15. And in the backfield, we'll also see Ray J. Crawford, number 1, and Brock Chido, number 43. Yes, Chido, that is the name. There is a story behind that. And Matt, I can't wait to go to our sideline reporter on this. The wide receivers are Max Griffin and Brody Breck. Breck's another young man, leading receiver, playmaker for Ankeny. He wears number 11. The tight end is Weston Folk, and also Cale Crimmins. Offensive line, Jacob Bayer, along with Zach Steffen and Carter Smith. They're the new guys. Dylan Miller, the left guard, number 68. He's a returning senior and returner from star last year, number 68. And number 51, Caden Young, the right guard. There's a returner. So that's a look at the starting lineups. Coming up next, a word from Dr. Dan Ryan, the president of Dowling Catholic High School, and our pregame prayer with Father Zach Skoski. Coming up here on Iowa Catholic Radio, it's Dowling and Ankeny from Valley Stadium coming up on Iowa Catholic Radio and the Central Iowa Sports Network.
Schottenkirk Chevrolet September Closeout, featuring up to 25% off select new 18 Silverado Crew Cab LTs, new 18 Trax LT, $179 per month through the end of the month in Waukee. Get up to $10,000 off select new 18 Suburban and Tahoes, new 2019 Equinox LT, $199 per month, with 12 going on 13 years of year-over-year sales records. Schottenkirk knows how to sell Chevys. The September Closeout, Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. Chevy.
You want to get stronger, faster, healthier. You want more. You want to be part of something bigger than yourself. A place for people of all ages, all walks of life, that provides opportunities for all to succeed. We do that. We're the why. Build more than muscle. Build a stronger community.
As we get set for kickoff, it's Dowling and Ankeny on Iowa Catholic Radio tonight, as we're joined by the Central Iowa Sports Network crew. We want to welcome them to the broadcast. And let's go down for our first report from the sidelines on a very chilly night. As we mentioned earlier, the game time temperature right now at 62 degrees here in Des Moines. Let's go down to our sideline reporter, our Shields sideline reporter, John Chido. Johnny?
Well, Dowling is deferred. They won the toss and deferred, so they'll start on defense, and they'll defend the north goal. And the wind's blowing out of the north about 5 to 10 miles, and it's finally a good night for football because it's not hot, it's not too cold, it's just perfect for Friday night football.
Well, John, I beg to differ because the Maroons are going to kick off, and that's Drew Peterson teeing it up at the 40-yard line.
Yep.
And it'll be the Hawks defending the south end zone, and are they going to take the win? Well, we'll see how that all transpires tonight. I want to mention, I think it has.
A little bit coming off. It is going left to right on us here. So we do have the wind behind us in this kickoff.
So the Maroons had the win in the first quarter. Peterson will tee it up. Keep in mind Carter Baumler out with the separated or collarbone that he broke last week. So he's out on the shelf for a while. And the kickoff's in the end zone. Touchback. It'll be 1st and 10. The Hawks and Matt Maynard. We're going to see the Dowling defense against this Ankeny offense that's very young.
Yeah, and to see how we're going to go against them, and as we talked about in the pregame, you might trying to force them into mistakes and being a little more aggressive and having this young team, young skilled positions make quick decisions. So we'll see here as we go through, and they're going to try and spread it out here right away.
Jace Bauer, number 8, is the quarterback. He works under center, tight into the right. 2 receivers left, 1 back in the backfield. And the handoff is to that 1 back, and that's Cale Boyd, another sophomore, number 15, and he dives into the line right over center, maybe a yard up to the 21-yard line. 2nd and 9 for the Hawks.
Yeah, Nate Collins and looked like and Max Bay in on that tackle there for the Maroons, and they're going to go right and hurry up offense here for Ankeny.
Yeah, they want to set the tempo also. They'll move a man in motion now. He'll line up in the right outside the tight end to the right and back to throw. His quarterback Bauer fires the ball out, and the pass is in and out of the hands of the intended receiver, Brody Breck, the kid we're going to watch all night, the young sophomore. And he would have caught that in traffic. He had a guy in front of him and behind him, and the pass is incomplete, fortunately for the Maroons there.
Yeah, I think he might have taken a peek on that one before he caught that football. And he's probably fortunate he did. It was the same formation. Everything was set up the same, and ran the bootleg out of that first formation that they did on the first play.
All right, it's 3rd down now. 3rd, and they're going to call it 8 with Bauer at quarterback, and he has 3 receivers to the right, 1 to split out wide left, and the tailback is Boyd to his right. Back to throw, and now stun is on, and the pass incomplete as under duress was Jace Bauer. He had 3 maroon jerseys chasing him, and he had to unload the pass that's incomplete too soon.
Yeah, he did a good job just getting that ball away. Jack Keogh came through the run of blitz untouched, and was able to get at his feet, and Bauer was able to get rid of it to his credit and take the incomplete pass and not take the loss of yardage.
All right, forcing the punt now for Ankeny, and
looks like Matt Stillwell back there.
Stillwell stands at midfield as Max Griffin gets the punt away, and contact with the punter, but no flag called, and a fair catch signal by Stillwell at the 46-yard line of Ankeny. So I don't know if the Maroons got a break there, but the punter went down, and so did a Dowling defender.
Yeah, that's one of those calls that they've, over time, are not giving quite as much. It used to be that you'd have a punter look like a basketball player taking a charge in the NBA, and they would kind of flop down. And there was some contact, but they let it go. We almost did block the punt.
All right, Dowling's offense on the field. Quarterback is Zach Waters, and the give is to Murray. Right up the gut he goes from the Ankeny 46 down to the Ankeny 42. He picked up a chunk of 4 yards right over left guard.
Well, I think Coach Wilson was sending a message there, that offensive line. He was checking that right side right away and checking Joe Ryan and Jesse Alger out and say, okay, we're supposed to be good. Let's see it right away.
2nd down and 6 for the Maroons, just underway. 10:50 remaining. No score. Dowling and Ankeny here on Iowa Catholic Radio and the Central Iowa Sports Network. And now a little jet sweep. They line up Murray as a wide receiver. He's got the first down as he got outside the numbers, inside the Hawk 35, down to the 34-yard line.
We got a flag back here.
I see that back at the 43, Matt.
Yeah, and I didn't quite catch what happened. We had 2 linemen going at it, and they are going to call that against the Maroons. It looked holding against the Maroons.
So that'll wipe out an 8-yard gain for Jason Murray. And let's pick up the call.
On the offense, number 55. That's a 10-yard penalty.
They're going to get Alex Curtin for the hold, and he was held out of practice yesterday, battling that virus, and that'll move the ball back to the Dowling 47-yard line. That official you heard, the referee, is Clint Nelson. John Gorish is the umpire. Stan Siepke, one of the linesmen. Line judge Luke Reimers, and Ross Jensen is the back judge. So it's 2nd and 17 for the Maroons, back to 47. Waters wants to throw, now wants to run, and gets outside the numbers and skips out of bounds right around the 49-yard line of Ankeny.
Yeah, Ankeny did a good job in coverage right there, and we had 2 guys out, with Jason Murray out there in the pattern and on a what I would call a chair pattern, and going back to that last play, it's one of those plays that drives you crazy as a coach because it was on the backside. We're running jet sweep away from the play, and you had 2 linemen going at it, and they end up calling the Maroons on the hold.
So a 4-yard gain for Murray. He got some of those penalty yards back. It brings up 3rd and 13 for Dowling on the Ankeny 49. No score. And now here's the snap. Waters rolls to his left, fires the ball downfield, lofts it up, and the pass is caught by Thompson. First down. How about that? Edward Thompson at the 30-yard line of Ankeny. That's a 19-yard gain and a Maroon first down.
That was an athletic play by Zach Waters, and he put that ball on the money to Edward Thompson. Edward Thompson had to catch it with his hands. He had to go out and get that a little bit, and Waters had someone at his ankles, and he got the ball off and just made a nice throw.
All right, here's the snap, 1st and 10 from the Ankeny 30, and this is Waters. He's going to keep the football, and the Dowling quarterback puts his head down and gets down to the 27-yard line to pick up a 3.
One of the things I'm seeing here from Zach early out of the chutes is you're looking for that person to take charge of this offense. And right now he's starting to give us that feel a little bit like, all right, this is my show. As the quarterback, you have to have that control, and he's starting to show it.
All right, we're seeing stacks for the first time for the Dowling wide receivers, 2 to the left and 2 to the right. And here's a snap to Waters. Back to throw is Waters. Fires towards the end zone. Caught! Touchdown! Touchdown, Jack Lyman and the Maroons. From 27 yards out, they're back to running those stacks. We haven't seen that in a while. We'll get to John Chido in a moment on that. But Dowling strikes first, Matt, leading 6-0 over Ankeny.
Yeah, and Lyman just ran a fly. I mean, he didn't hesitate. He ran right by the defender, and Zach was able to put it right on him. Well-thrown football, and I think that's I think the message got sent in practice this week, and this is what this offense is capable of.
All right, the extra point by Drew Peterson. The ball is up, and the kick is good. Dowling 7, Ankeny nothing with 9:35 remaining first quarter. We'll take a 1-minute break and return. You're listening to Dowling Catholic Football on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network and the Central Iowa Sports Network.
Schottenkirk Chevrolet September Closeout, featuring up to 25% off select new 18 Silverado Crew Cab LTs, new 18 Trax LT, $179 per month through the end of the month in Waukee. Get up to $10,000 off select new 18 Suburban and Tahoes, new 2019 Equinox LT, $199 per month. With 12 going on 13 years of year-over-year sales records, Schottenkirk knows how to sell Chevys. The September Closeout, Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. Chevy, Schottenkirk Chevrolet's Power Price Truck and Crossover event featuring.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at Mid-American Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing.
Back here at Valley Stadium, Dowling taking their opening drive and going 6 plays, 46 yards. The Maroons lead it 7-0. Peterson on the kickoff for the Maroons. High end over end kick. It'll reach the end zone for a touchback. And Ankeny will have the ball 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. Let's go down to our Shield sideline reporter tonight, and that's John Chido. And John, we owe you a couple of these, but give us your perspective on that last drive.
Well, the tempo was great. The one miscue was a holding penalty, but they were able to recoup. They run that double stack to take that linebacker out of the box. If he doesn't come out of the box, they're going to throw it, and they run a screen pass, and it frees the safety and allowed Lyman to get open down the field.
All right, Ankeny with the first down. Appreciate that report, John. With first down at their own 20-yard line. And their quarterback is Jesse Bauer, a 6'1 sophomore. Bauer now loses the snap, and now he's going to take the dive in the backfield. Lost control of the football. I don't know if he was going to run that RPO and look to throw or look to just keep it, Matt, but nonetheless, he lost control of the ball and a loss in the play. Dowling gets the sack.
Yeah, they had fullback in the backfield. I think they had number 74, their nose tackle. I got to get his name, Romello Gray, in the backfield on as a lead blocker, and it just got messed up.
He's also their 4th leading tackler on defense, and now Bauer will keep the football, read option. Fakes it to the fullback, runs around right in, and gets up to the 20-yard line. So he gets those 3 yards back, and it brings up 3rd and 10 for the Hawks on their own 20, trailing 7-0 to Dowling.
Yeah, that defensive front of Bay and Jack Schultz, and they're getting it done up front right now against this Ankeny offensive line.
They certainly are, and it's Max Bay, Jack Schultz, Nate Collins, Connor Kriechhauser up front, along with Michael Keel, Levi Hummel, Jack Keel, Drew Peterson. Cornerbacks are Jackman and Schultz. And Ryan Adam is a safety. We've got a timeout on the field. We'll keep it here with 8:34 remaining first quarter. Dowling 7, Ankeny nothing. You're listening and watching tonight's game on Iowa Catholic Radio and the Central Iowa Sports Network as we simulcast. Mark Emmerdale, Matt Maindring, and John Chido. Let's go down to our sideline guy. John, first question. There's a Chido playing for the Ankeny team. I know he's related to you distantly, but nonetheless, there's one that the Hawks got from the Dowling territory.
Yeah, unfortunately, they live up in Ankeny, but he goes to school there. It's a distant relative, good family. He's only a sophomore, Brock Chido, and he playing varsity football, and he plays both ways. So
yes, he does. He's a little bit taller than some of the Chidos that I know.
Yeah, a little bit. I didn't get that gene pool.
Well, if you hear that name, the Chido family, there's some in Ankeny, and we respect that. And Matt, what's your perspective on this first few series that we've seen, especially with this defense?
Yeah, the defense. I want to go back to the special teams for just a second. Drew Peterson has been impressive. He's put both balls in the end zone, kicked a real good extra point. That's a confidence-building thing for that young man.
Young man who also sat out last year due to the ACL injury. And now here's Bauer back to throw. Nobody open. Coverage sack for the Maroons. Bauer keeps the football, and he gets it up across the 20 up to the 23-yard line, but a flag at the point of attack.
Looked like it was Max Bay on the tackle there. It's not a sack because he did cross the line of scrimmage. We'll be interested to see if there was a face mask on there, if it's incidental.
We'll pick up the call from the referee. And tonight, this is Clint Nelson.
Incidental face mask on the defense. 5 yards penalty from the end of the run. The mark-off results in first down.
Incidental face mask. And in high school, you have that option of 5 yards or 15 if it's a flagrant. This was a 5-yard variety, and it gives Ankeny a first down at the 30-yard line.
Yeah, again, there's just those little penalties just seem to be nagging back there at us.
So first down and 10 for Ankeny on the face mask penalty against Maroons. Back to throw Bauer. Wants to throw. Now he does the far sideline. The pass is caught. And right in front of the Ankeny sideline at the line of scrimmage and off the bottom of the pile is Jared Downer with the catch.
Yeah, and he was looking downfield at Breckton Griffin, Brody Breckton, Max Griffin. Both of their patterns ended up about 5 yards apart, and it kind of bunched up the defense there, and so he took his safety valve off there into the flats.
So 1 yard gain, 2nd and 9, Ankeny. Here's a toss play to the backfield, and that's Cale Boyd trying to get outside the numbers, still on his feet, and he's finally corralled right about the 32-yard line. They say he stepped in or stayed in bounds, and now they'll stop the clock. Nice hustle that time by Keogh.
Yeah, and Drew Peterson and Ryan Adam coming across the field there. We have a flag down. I believe this time we're going to have a hold on Ankeny.
So they pick up the flag right about the the 29-yard line. That's where they mark it off. Here's the call. Having trouble with the official's mic on the field cutting out, but it's 10-yard penalty against the Hawks.
That was one of those things where the interior people did their job, and then that allowed the secondary people of Drew Peterson and Ryan Adam to flow to that play and string him out of bounds for a short gain.
So that'll wipe out a 2-yard gain, puts the ball back on the 20-yard line. Boyd had a 2-yard gain on that last play. 2nd and 20, Hawks. Under center is Jace Bauer, the sophomore. On play action, Bauer back to throw. Rolls to his right, looking downfield, still looking. Now wants to keep the football and gets outside the cornerback. And he finally has run out of bounds near the 30-yard line. A pick up a 10. It'll bring up 3rd and 10 for the Hawks. So you got half those penalty yards back.
Yeah, you got Jackman and Keogh getting him out of bounds there at the end of that play. Bauer looking downfield. And Breck did release late, but the coverage was good by the Maroons there, and Bauer made the safe choice and kept the ball.
So the Hawks split out 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right, the ball on the right hash mark. They're going right to left. Blitz by Dowling. Now Keogh's got the quarterback, and he finally unloads it. And the pass is, the ball is loose, and they're going to call it incomplete or what?
Well, I think the argument's going to be that there was an offensive lineman downfield because it ends up being a screen pass, but that's completed about 4 yards downfield. And anyway, 4th down, irrelevant.
Yep, because it's 4th down. They're shy of the first down, pick up a 7 on the play. And I'll tell you what, Bauer showed a lot of strength there because he was unloaded on by Jack Keogh, and he just got that ball off.
Yeah, Jack Keogh came through untouched again and really put the pressure on him.
All right, here's the punt, and now Stillwell has it, and he's hit and dropped. How he held on to that football right at the 30-yard line, I don't know, because good special teams coverage that time by the Ankeny Hawks, and Stillwell is down at the 31-yard line, and he barely had time to breathe.
Yeah, that was Cale Boyd for Ankeny, the Hawks, and sophomore. He came down the field in coverage there, and his timing was perfect. And he laid a lick on Matt Stillwell right there, and Matt was fortunate to keep a hold of the football, as you said, Mark.
All right, let's go down to the Dowling sideline, our Shield sideline report, and that is John Chido. Johnny?
Mark, you're going to see a lot of Jason Murray, I think, on this play series here. That offensive line, the intensity level is just fantastic this week.
All right, back to throw is Waters, fires the ball downfield. It's caught by Lyman out of bounds at the Hawk 30. So that play goes for 40 yards down to the Hawk 29-yard line. And what a catch that time by Jack Lyman on the pass from Zach Waters.
Yeah, outstanding. And Nick Shirley was in coverage there for the Hawks, and his coverage wasn't that bad. And Jack Lyman just released, and Waters stayed with him and laid a nice ball right up over him and in the basket.
So the play goes for 40 yards, and now Dowling a handoff, or rather Waters keeps it. He's going to go into the end zone untouched. Touchdown from 29 yards. Zach Waters fooled everybody. Just when you start keying on Jason Murray, who wears number 2, it's number 4 Waters that goes in the end zone.
You know, John Chido mentioned in the pregame, they run that 5-man front right there. They brought pressure from the edge, Ankeny did, and it left the linebacker out in space, and he read pass, and Zach did a great job of setting up that quarterback draw, and nobody was home in the middle of the field.
So Waters on the touchdown, and Peterson in for the extra point. The hold by Zach Prey, and the ball is down. The kick is up and good. 14-0 Dowling. 6:33 remaining. First quarter. Back with more from Valley Stadium. You're listening and watching Dowling Catholic Football on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network and the Central Iowa Sports Network.
Why do I look for the seal? It's about trust. Whether I'm buying a car, hiring a contractor, finding a tax preparer, or an honest mechanic, the Better Business Bureau seal means this business meets high standards. When I see the seal, I know I'll get what I pay for. No more taking chances and no more worries. And I feel good about supporting local businesses. My life is so much easier knowing I can always trust BBB accredited businesses. It pays to look for the seal. See for yourself at bbb.org.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
And we're back here at Valley Stadium. Here's a kickoff by Drew Peterson. High end over end kick going into the end zone. Touchback. That's 3 touchbacks by Drew in his first varsity start as the kicker. And, of course, he starts at cornerback. He's done a nice job tonight, Matt.
Yeah, depth is a great thing. I couldn't find one kid. Maybe I had a couple kickers over 10 years that could get the ball in the end zone. We bring the second guy off the bench, and he's putting it to the back of the end zone every time.
Certainly did. And it'll be first down Ankeny from their own 20-yard line that last drive. 2 plays, 69 yards for Dowling, and Zach Waters on a 29-yard quarterback keeper. Extra point, both extra points tonight by Drew Peterson good, and it's 14-0 Maroons as we're underway here in the first quarter, 6:33 remaining, and now on a first down play, the give is to the tailback, and that's Cale Boyd, and he tries to find some running room from his own 20, gets outside the numbers up to the 25-yard line for a gain of 5 for the Hawks.
Yeah, he showed some good speed right there. I was impressed how he was able to get to the corner there, and Owen Schultz was able to get, that play got strung out and ran him out of bounds, but he makes a nice run for 5 yards, and a good, for Ankeny Hawks, a good way to start the series.
No question. The Hawks looking, I think, they had a first down by penalty, looking for their actual first down. Back to throw is quarterback Bauer, fires the ball downfield. The pass is, look at that, make a big catch down there inside the 35-yard line. Nice job that time by the Hawk receiver, and that's Brody Breck, the young man we talked about in the pregame.
Yeah, he plays, he's 6'4", he is lanky, and the coverage was really good. Michael Keogh had him in coverage, and could have maybe been a little offensive push there towards get a little separation, but that's what good receivers do, and he makes a heck of a catch.
40-yard catch that time by Brody Breck.
Into the wind.
Yeah, and a pass by Bauer thrown into the wind, and Breck with the catch, and it's a first down Ankeny at the Dowling 35, and now the give is to the tailback Boyd, and he gets a couple of yards. Let's go down to the Dowling sideline. We missed him after the change of possession. That's John Chido. Johnny gives an update.
Well, I'm done predicting what Dowling's going to do because Jason Murray didn't touch the ball that last series, and Dowling puts another touchdown up on the board. But the tempo's been great offensively for Dowling.
Well, Waters has hit his receivers, and he even ran for one. So see how that goes. 2nd and 7 now for Ankeny from the Dowling 32. And here's a handoff near side and trying to turn the corner and hit, and he is level. That's Boyd again, Cale Boyd, the sophomore running back, and he loses yardage back to the 36-yard line, Matt, for a loss of 1.
Levi Hummel's going to get credit for the tackle there, and he had a strong finish on that play. And again, it was Ryan Adams and Drew Peterson really extending that play and stringing it out to the line of scrimmage. They filled their lanes.
The referees might cutting out, but it looks like Grant Muller's going to be whistled for the violation, the penalty against Ankeny on a hold, and he's one of the wide receivers. That'll move the ball back to the Dowling 46-yard line on the hold. So Ankeny's shooting themselves in the foot on the holding penalty. So it brings up 2nd and 21 for the Hawks. 5 minutes remaining, first quarter. Dowling 14 and Ankeny nothing. And now here is the quarterback. He'll keep it. That's Bauer. Runs the read option, fake to the fullback, and he runs around right in. And Matt, he gets a couple yards down to the 42-yard line or so.
Drew Peterson comes off the bottom of the pile along with Jack Keogh there and makes a good stop. He run that read option. He made a nice read back there. Bauer made the right read, and was able to get off tackle there for a few yards.
We want to thank Chad Harris Mortgage Team at Fidelity Bank for supporting our broadcast here on Iowa Catholic Radio, and Paper Systems, proud sponsor of Dowling football. Back to throw is Bauer, fires the ball out, pass is caught, and that's up to the original line of scrimmage. A nice catch that time by the Hawks, and that is Jordan Cum with the catch.
Yeah, they ran into 3 series here where they ran 3 receivers out into the pattern right there, and nice pass and catch.
8-yard reception that time by Cum. And that is brings up a 4th and 9, and the Hawks here, Matt, are going for it. And back to throw is Bauer. He sets up in the pocket, fires in the middle, pass is caught, and that's a first down. Nice reception that time by Grant Moeller, who just got called for the hold, and Moeller comes up with the catch, number 2.
Yeah, nice play on 4th down. This Bauer kid, Jace Bauer, is really playing well in that backfield and making some nice plays there to keep the drives alive.
Down to the 23-yard line. That's a 12-yard reception on 4th down, as you mentioned, Matt. So working out of the eye. Here's a handoff to the tailback, and he puts his head down, gets near the 20-yard line for a pickup of 3 as quarterback Bauer hands off to his tailback and gets it down. That would be Boyd down to near the 20-yard line, gain of 3.
This is a good series for Ankeny as they start to make the comeback here, because all of a sudden we had a lot of momentum going, and this is really a solid drive by the Hawks here.
They can overcome a 10-yard penalty. Now a lateral pass near side. The bat's a live football, and finally getting on top of it is the tailback out of the backfield. Boy, that was a lateral pass thrown by Bauer, and Ankeny very dangerous there. Boyd couldn't handle the pass, but finally came up with it, but loses yardage back to the 24, loss of 4.
Yeah, you're exactly right there, Mark. That was a backwards pass, and that ball was live. And to the kid's credit, he realized it and just fell on it and saved the ball.
That's 2 sophomores handle the football a lot for Ankeny, and they're learning on the fly. And now quarterback Bauer keeps the football, dives to the 15-yard line, and be shy of the first down. And once again, I'll bring up 4th and, this won't be as long. 4th and 2 for Ankeny. Last time they had 4th and 12 and had a first down, and now it'll be 4th and 2 from the Dowling 15-yard line.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to go for it here. And, we had pressure off the edges there, and we let the middle of the field open for Jace as he ran forward and nearly got the first down.
All right, under center is Jace Bauer. He has a man in motion. Now they'll have 2 tight ends on each side, 2 receivers left, and now play action. Here's Bauer with it. Rolls to his right, running the bootleg, trying to angle towards the far sideline. He's got the first down. Great individual effort that time by the Ankeny quarterback, Jace Bauer.
Yeah, we had, it looks like that was Levi Hummel chasing him across field, and Levi couldn't come up and make the play because they had a receiver right there too. So Levi had to play in no man's land there, because if he comes up on the quarterback too fast, he just makes the pass, and in the end, Levi made the right play.
First down, Ankeny, the quarterback Bauer with a 3-yard run. And the Hawks now, like they're going to, well, not quite a goal line offensive formation, and the give is to the tailback, and that's Boyd, and he tries to run up right over center, maybe gotten a yard down to the 11-yard line. Will bring up 2nd and 9 for the Hawks at the Dowling 11. Minute 35 remaining. Game clock running here in the first quarter. Dowling up 14-0, but Ankeny now in the red zone.
Yeah, they tested Connor Kriegshauser right there with a little stunt by us, and Connor ends up in the middle of the field and makes the stop there for the Maroons.
So Boyd that time, a gain of 1. Now they run a man in motion with now 2 receivers to the left. Tight end on the left for Ankeny. Under center is Bauer. Play action now. Avoids 1 tackle. Scampers in downfield. The ball is tipped, and they're going to rule it incomplete as it deflected off. I think it was Hummel, the Dowling linebacker, for an incompletion. But I'll tell you what, Bauer bought himself time at quarterback.
Yeah, Nate Collins had him out there in space, and Bauer was able to avoid Nate out in space. And to the defensive tackle's credit, I mean, that's not his role out there to be tackling out in space. And Bauer kid makes a nice play, keeps it alive.
Well, this is the 13th play of the drive that started about 5 minutes ago, and now they run a little trickery here, and this is Brody Breck with it, and he's finally corralled, and his pass is incomplete. He fired it away right before he got sacked back at the 30-yard line for an incomplete pass. Smart play.
Yeah.
And that'll bring up 4th and 9 for Ankeny. They can get a first down inside the Dowling 3. And let's see what head coach Rick Nelson, in his 4th year as a Hawks head coach, what he decides to do here. Will he bring on the field goal unit?
They're going to go for it. He realizes that they're playing to win, and they want to stay in the ball game. That's one of those plays right there where you draw it up on the board. It looks pretty good, but it's not meant to be thrown from 15 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
I think I saw that play last night and in the Super Bowl. Now here's a backdoor fade in the end zone, and a lot of hand jostling. The pass is incomplete, and the Maroons will take over on downs as they try to lob it up towards their outstanding wide receiver that time, and the pass broken up, and that was it Max Griffin or Brody Breck? I think it was Breck, because he looked like the taller of the two.
Yeah.
And it's incomplete.
And I think that was I couldn't tell if that was Quentin Wellmaker in coverage out there, but, you know, there's another situation where the game has changed a little bit. They let a lot of hand fighting go on out there. That would have been called a penalty probably 8 years ago. But they let those kids go up there and let the athletes play each other, and it ends up being a good defensive play.
First down, Dowling. The Maroons will have the ball back on their own 11-yard line with 51 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Dowling 14, Ankeny nothing on the change of possession. Let's go down to our Shields sideline reporter, and that is John Chido. John?
Yeah, Bauer's doing a lot of rollout and being very successful, and he's staying in the pocket and made some nice completions. On that last play, it was a fade route to Breck, and it's Owen Shields that did a nice play on that defense.
Now here's Waters with a pass that's complete. The lineman, he spun out of bounds right around the 21-yard line. So the Maroons go from their own 11 up to the 21, and he's near a first down. Want to recap with 44 seconds remaining. That'll stop the clock, and are they going to measure for the first down? They should have it.
You're going to say it's a yard short.
Nope, 2nd and 1. That last Ankeny drive, Matt, 14 plays, 70 yards, and took 5.5 minutes of game clock, but yet they came up empty. So that's what's disheartening about the Hawk drive. Last possession.
In some ways, a confidence builder, though, for them is the fact that the first 2 series they didn't move the ball at all, and that one they were able to get some yards. You know, right now Coach Wilson's playing this game like it's the end of the half right now because he's using that wind, so he's taking some shots down the field here potentially with only 44 seconds left in the quarter.
They tacked on a 5-yard penalty against Ankeny, so Maroons will start from their own 25-yard line on the penalty, and now Maroons are in a pistol formation with quarterback Zach Waters. He's got Murray in the backfield. And 1 receiver to the left, 1 to the right. And the give is to Murray. He avoids 1 tackle, tries to get outside, and he's wrestled down from behind. Good job by the Ankeny defense. He'll lose yardage back to the 22-yard line. Very seldom you see Murray lose 3 yards on a play, and that's what he did there.
Yeah, he did. The Ankeny Hawks did a really good job of stringing that play out to the edge and not giving Jason a chance to cut that upfield at all. And it looked to be Caleb Rotchen out there, helping string that play out.
Actually a loss of 4, 2nd and 14 for Dowling, and now the give is to Waters, and Jason stacked up the line of scrimmage, and he may have gotten a line of scrimmage, and that's it. And that'll end the first quarter of play from Valley Stadium with the score. Dowling 14, Ankeny nothing, along with Matt Maindring and John Chido. I'm Mark Amadeo, back with the second quarter, and you're listening and watching Dowling Catholic Football on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network and the Central Iowa Sports Network.
Hi, I'm Chris from Fireplace Superstore. September and October are the best times of year to sit outside, and we still have a great selection of 2018 merchandise, like this OWLE Deep Seating group. Or maybe you'd prefer wicker, like this North Cape group. And fire pits. There's nothing better than sitting out on the deck in the fall with a nice fire going. But get here soon, because the sold tags are coming out quick, and you don't want to be too late. For great deals on great...
Miss your hometown clothing store? The one that had it all? Everything to get the work done, all in one place? G&L Clothing is your hometown Iowa store. Stop in and see us. Or we're only a click or phone call away. Family owned for nearly a century. G&L Clothing, 1801 Ingersoll, Des Moines.
G&L Clothing, your size, your style, we've got it all.
Here at Valley Stadium. They'll be going into a pretty stiff wind. The flags are going at a pretty good clip. Back to throw on 2nd and 15, and Waters airs it out. The pass incomplete as he tried to hit his intended receiver, Edward Thompson, and he overthrew him on 3rd and 15. I'll bring up 4th down now, Matt Maindring, and the Maroons will be forced to punt.
Yeah, that was Zach's first throw into the wind there, and I just think he overplayed that a little bit and threw it over his head and gave it a little bit too much, and the wind didn't knock it down as much as he thought it would initially. So we have a new punter on the field for the Maroons.
Yeah, for the first time we're going to see
Drew Johns.
Drew Johns. He had one punt for 26 yards this year, wearing number 43. And he's awaiting the snap. Remember, if you heard earlier, in a high snap, and Johns gets it away, and the punt is blocked. Johns picks it up, and now the ball is loose and tackled at the 5-yard line. The Hawks have it, and they'll have 1st and goal at the 5. And for the second consecutive game, Dowling has had a punt blocked.
Yeah, the ball, Carter Baumler's a taller kid. Carter on the field stands a lot taller, and Drew is a little bit shorter. That snap was a little high. That's what I'm trying to say, Mark.
Yeah, high snap, and he did all he could. Drew Johns, to corral it, but he got the punt blocks. Go down to the Dowling sideline, and John Chido is on the Seal sideline tonight. Johnny?
Yeah, Ankeny sent everybody on that play, and it was a little bit high, the snap, but the guy off the end for Ankeny, it was unblocked, and he had no chance of getting that ball off.
And he didn't. It actually got blocked. So wishbone formation or power eye, whatever you will, or whatever you think. And handoff goes to the tailback, Hill Boyd, second man through, and he's stacked up inside the 5, down to about the Dowling 4. They'll spot him, bring up 2nd and goal for Ankeny on the Maroon 4-yard line. Underway here in the second quarter. Dowling with a 14-0 lead, Matt.
Yeah, actually, I think that was Cale Crimmins. They have number 45 in the backfield right now, and he was in that stacked position. I would call it a power eye formation as well. It's a little bit spread, and interesting formation. They have number 74, that
Romello Gray.
Gray in the backfield here.
He's one fullback, and the give is to Boyd again, and he's tripped up. Boyd is right at the 3-yard line, gain of 1. Dowling defense holding tough. It'll be 3rd and goal from the 3, and Boyd with another carry.
And that was number 48, Levi Hummel, and he comes up a little bit, limping out there a little bit, does Hummel, but he'll walk that off.
Yeah, Hummel's a two-way player tonight, as we mentioned in our starting lineups for the Maroons. And
yeah, we're a guy short out there right now. I think the Maroons are going to call timeout.
We'll take a 1-minute break. 10:39 remaining. Second quarter, Dowling 14-0 over Ankeny. Back in 1 minute on Iowa Catholic Radio and the Central Iowa Sports Network.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
Every month or so, there's another story in the media about when and how often we need to get our mammograms. Kind of confusing. When this happens, I like to consult with experts. So I called Iowa Radiology. They recommend women get an annual mammogram starting at age 40. They know that it's the best way to detect cancers early and save lives. And that's good enough for me. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule your mammogram. Iowa Radiology, our focus is your good health.
All right, 3rd and goal for Ankeny, and the quarterback will keep the football. That's Jace Bauer. Looked like he wanted to run a little RPO to the left, and he decided to cut up field around where the left guard and tackle were, and he was swarmed under by the Dowling defense, Matt Maindring.
Christian Owsley, who just came in the game for Levi Hummel, who went off with a little bit of an ankle, and just makes a great play. That's assignment football right there to Christian, and stayed home and got Bauer.
All right, Hawks going for it. 4th and goal at the Dowling 3. Quarterback is Bauer, and he throws into the end zone, and the ball is knocked away, incomplete. Penalty flags down, and we're going to have pass interference on the Maroons.
Yeah. It was a situation where our defender just got turned around, didn't know where the ball was, and he just tackled him.
So the penalty will go against Dowling, and I don't know if that was Peterson over there or not, but nonetheless, Maroons will be penalized. John Chido, let's get your perspective on this goal line stand by the Dowling defense.
There was tough go for the running game, and then they went to a little trips receivers to the top of the formation there to the left. And then Brody Breck came from the inside, the number 3 receiver, and ran a corner route. And Drew Peterson just got turned around, like Coach said, and was unable to find the football and got called for the pass interference.
Yeah, the referee just announced it is Drew Peterson on the pass interference against the Ankeny receiver. 1st and goal, or rather 4th and goal again. Is that right? Yeah. 4th and goal at the 2-yard line for the Hawks. Not an automatic first down. Power I formation. And here's a handoff, and that is to the tailback, Boyd, and he's hit and dropped at the 1-yard line. And I think the Dowling defense is held, and they have. Dowling will take over at the 1. It was pass interference on Peterson, and there was not a new set of downs. It isn't 1st and goal automatically, and Dowling's defense held. What a that might be the biggest part of the game right now.
Yeah, the defense is playing really well. I'm a little confused on the call in the end zone.
Maybe it was holding.
Maybe
that was holding.
And you get confused. You watch so much professional football, and then it's not an automatic first down at professional level. It is not in high school football.
Well, we'll get our rules expert down there, and he's also a coach.
John?
We'll get that to him to find out. Was it holding or pass interference? And it wasn't an automatic first down.
If it was pass interference, I'm pretty certain that would have been a first down.
So that was a 4th and goal play, and tailback Boyd comes up short and out of the end zone. Handoff to Murray, and Jason gets loose down the near sideline. He's loose at the 20, 25, 30, 35. This is a track meet, and Jason taken down from behind at the Hawk 44-yard line. So Jason Murray on a 56-yard run gives Dowling breath at the 45 of Ankeny.
I'm pretty certain if he'd had one more step, that would have been a school record.
99 yards.
It couldn't get any longer. That's a great run by Jason.
So Dowling a first down at the Hawk 45-yard line. Maroons want to hurry up here. They're trying to go up tempo. And now Dowling will settle down and get their secondary signals. 2 receivers, one to the left, one to the right, tight end on the right, handoff Murray right side, tries to find a hole, now cuts back at the 40, got the first down 35, still on his feet 30, still on his feet 20, follows his blocker and is run out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. Boy, did he wait for his blocking, Matt. Beautiful run by Murray.
Levi Hummel back in the ballgame at fullback made a nice block in there to the right, and then Jason hits that block and then bounces it back to the left the way Jason Murray does. As we've said week after week, he does just a great job of reading his blockers and setting up those things. We have a flag on the sideline here, and it looked to me like they were going to call a late hit or taking him out of bounds, and they might be discussing whether or not that is the case right here.
All right, we'll get the call from our referee tonight, and that is Clint Nelson.
They're picking it up.
Going to wave off the flag. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go down to our Dowling sideline reporter, our Shields sideline report, sponsored by Shields and John Chido.
Yeah, they waved the flag off like you guys just said, but Jason Murray, with that run out of the end zone, he was stopped in the end zone for a half a second and then took off down the sideline with open space. And we got to give credit to the offensive line. They're doing a fantastic job this drive with allowing for Jason with those cutback lanes.
All right, it's 1st and 10 Dowling, and they're going to call it 1st and goal at the 10. And the handoff, and on the left side, Murray fights his way inside the 8, maybe to the 7-yard line. So this has been all Jason Murray on this drive.
Yeah, what's happening right now is these plays are getting called to the right, and it's a cutback to the left by Jason as he ends up running to the left side of the line and getting behind Nank and Curtin on that side. We had a little extracurricular going on after the play here. It looks like Ankeny Centennial is going to be called for a personal foul.
Let's pick up the call from our referee. Personal foul. And the mic's not working. It's a face mask penalty against Ankeny, and it'll probably be half the distance to the goal, regardless if it's 5 or the 15-yard penalty, and it'll be 1st down Maroons.
And that was not on the runner. So the face mask was called out here. The defensive lineman grabbed the face mask of the offensive lineman, and that's what the call was.
They move the ball to the 4-yard line, and it's not an automatic 1st down. It's 2nd down. Handoff Murray, and he dives in the end zone. The officials say no, he was down at the 1-yard line, and then he rolled in. So they'll bring up 2nd and goal at the 1.
He tripped on a lineman's foot, and his knee went down before the ball crossed the end zone, and but it sets the Maroons up at the 1-yard line.
So Murray, a 54-yard run to get Dowling to the 45, and a 35-yard run, and now Dowling with the ball, and they go towards the end zone. Touchdown. And that's Zach Waters on a quarterback sneak. And he takes it in for his 2nd touchdown tonight, and Dowling goes 99 yards, Matt Maindring, in just 4 plays, capped off by Waters' 1-yard run for the score.
Yeah, they way to get out of their back against the wall. An offensive series set up by a great defensive stand down there at the 1-yard line. And the Maroons and Jason Murray come out and just flip the field and set us up for the potential to go up by 3 scores.
And Peterson's extra point is up, and it is good. And Dowling now leads 21-0 over Ankeny with 8 minutes, 40 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter from Valley Stadium. District 1 opener, and Dowling leads at 21-0 over Ankeny. Back in 1 minute on Iowa Catholic Radio and the Central Iowa Sports Network.
Hi, I'm Chris from Fireplace Superstore. September and October are the best times of year to sit outside, and we still have a great selection of 2018 merchandise, like this OWLE Deep Seating group. Or maybe you'd prefer wicker, like this North Cape group. And fire pits. There's nothing better than sitting out on the deck in the fall with a nice fire going. But get here soon, because the sold tags are coming out quick, and you don't want to be too late. For great deals on great furniture,
Schottenkirk Chevrolet's Power Price Truck and Crossover event featuring new 18 Silverado double cab LTs. Power lease, $259 per month lease.
Power price, $32,490.
New 18 Silverado crew cabs. Power lease, $429 per month lease.
Power price, $36,490.
Over 170 Traverse, Equinox, and Trax available. With 12 going on 13 years of year-over-year sales records, Schottenkirk knows how to sell Chevys. Schottenkirk Chevy, Waukee, Chevy.
Drew Peterson will kick it off. Dowling leads 21-0 over Ankeny. The Maroons will be kicking into the wind. And Peterson kicks it away. It's a high end-over-end kick, fielded at the 9-yard line by the Hawks. And on the return, get across the 20 and up to about the 22-yard line, where the Ankeny offense will take over 1st and 10. Boy, Ankeny has been knocking on the door after Grant Moeller returns the kickoff. Hawks have been knocking on the door, and John Chido, that Dowling defense, boy, they've been out there a lot in that first half. You can call it the bend but don't break, because they shut down Ankeny inside the when it was goal to goal.
Oh, you're absolutely right. That defensive stand was fantastic. I mean, after a block punt with 1st and goal from the 5-yard line, with Dowling's defense back against their own end zone and coming up with that big defensive stand, plus the penalty that got it, gave them an extra down an extra fourth down, and they still were able to hold Ankeny out of the end zone.
Yeah, they certainly will. Now the Ankeny offense on the field. Quarterback is Jace Bauer, back to throw. Lost it downfield. It's got a man open, and he overthrew Max Griffin just at the Dowling 45-yard line, running a seam route right down the right hash, and he just overthrew him. Great ball thrown by Jace Bauer of Ankeny.
Again, Jace Bauer is this young man, the sophomore, is impressing me because he got hit as he released that ball, and he must have flown back about 3 yards, and he stayed in there and took the heat and threw a pretty nice ball downfield that almost got to the target.
I want to thank Ashworth Vision along with construction professionals and dental associates for supporting our broadcast tonight. Back to throw Bauer, and he fires out to the near side. The ball is loose and picked up by the Maroons. Dowling gets on top of it. They were trying to pick it up and do a little scoop and score, and it'll be picked up by the Maroons. And hats off to big number 52 for Dowling, and that's Nate Collins on the fumble recovery.
Yeah, Nate Collins hustling from his defensive tackle position. That's why you do that. You hustle to the ball. Great hit by Connor Jackman on that play. Chase looked downfield, Bauer, and went to his safety valve out in the flat, and Connor Jackman came up and hit him and knocked the ball out, and Nate was there to scoop it up.
Dowling takes over from the Ankeny 18-yard line. Quarterback is Zach Waters. 3 receivers right. Murray in motion left to right. Jet sweep, handoff to Murray. Cuts upfield right outside right end. And he goes right between the hash marks and gets a couple yards, maybe down to, look at him spotting right at the 18. No gain of the play. Good job by the Hawk defense that time.
Yeah, number 18, Brecken Manis of the Hawks defense came out there and made Jason turn that stretch play. That looked like a jet sweep to the outside, and he turned that play inside. Didn't get credit for the tackle, but he's the one that made it happen.
2nd and 10 for the Maroons at the 18-yard line. Here's the snap. Waters looks to his right, 2 receivers, throws in the end zone, overthrew everybody, and almost the Ankeny cornerback nearly came up with it on the boundary, and the pass is incomplete. Good coverage that time by Caleb Rathjen for the Hawks.
It looked like a little miscommunication there between Waters and Thompson out there. Waters was expecting Thompson to come on the inside release there, and he went and Thompson stayed on the edge, and we were fortunate that ball was dropped.
No question, because that Rathjen nearly came up with it. It's 3rd down, 9 Dowling, 7:40 remaining, second quarter. Maroons lead at 21-0. Here's Waters back to throw, rolls to his left. I think he's going to tuck it under and be pushed out of bounds right about the 16-yard line. And
I got to think we're going to try it'll be
Peterson
interesting here.
comes in.
Yeah, well, the thing that might hold them up here, though, is the wind. That's a pretty stiff wind. So let's see what happens here.
I think Dowling's going to go for it, but Coach is taking his time. And we want to thank our supporters of Iowa Catholic Radio, including Dental Associates, Kemen, and the Mercy Medical. And we've got a timeout on the field. We'll take a 1-minute break. 7:33 remaining, second quarter, 21-0 Dowling over Ankeny. Back in 1 minute on Iowa Catholic Radio and the Central Iowa Sports Network.
Schottenberg Chevrolet September Closeout, featuring up to 25% off select new 18 Silverado Crew Cab LTs, new 18 Trax LT, $179 per month through the end of the month in Waukee. Get up to $10,000 off select new 18 Suburban and Tahoes, new 2019 Equinox LT, $199 per month. With 12 going on 13 years of year-over-year sales records, Schottenberg knows how to sell Chevys. The September Closeout, Schottenberg Chevy Waukee. Chevy, find new roads. Waukee Chevy.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you.
And the Maroons go for it on 4th down. As you were watching on the Central Iowa Sports Network, you saw that play. Waters rolled to his right, tried to hit Edward Thompson on a corner route in the end zone. The pass is incomplete, and Ankeny will take over on downs. Maroons lead it 21-0. Mark Amadale, Matt Maindring. Let's go down to the Shields sideline. That's where that's where John Chido is on the Dowling sideline. Johnny?
Yeah, it's unfortunate there that we didn't get any points out of that possession, but like Coach mentioned, the wind was a factor to kick the field goal. And Zach was rolling out a couple different ways. Rolled to the left on the third down play and to the right on the fourth down play. And both times the Ankeny defense made good plays.
All right, inside handoff on first down for Ankeny from their own 17-yard line. And they give it to their young tailback, Cale Boyd, the sophomore, carries it. He gets across the 20 up to the 23-yard line. Picked up about 6 yards on first down there, Matt.
Yeah, they ran to the narrow side of the field. It looked like we were shifting to the strength on that play, and they ran back to the weak side of the defense there to the narrow side as well, and made a nice run. Got a few yards out of that.
Southeast Polk leading Fort Dodge 7-3 in the second quarter in district play. And now
Ball's
another
on the
loose
ground.
football as a handoff goes to the tailback, Matt. And the Maroons scamper, but I think Southeast Polk, I think Ankeny got on top of it, and officials indicate third down.
Yeah, and that play was set up very well. They had 2 lead blockers in front of them right up the middle of the field, a little trap inside, and then leading with the fullback. And they had some room to run there, but the handoff was not clean.
All right, 3rd and 4 for Ankeny. 6:20 remaining, the game clock running. Timeouts remaining. Dowling has 1, and the Hawks have 2 remaining here in this first half. And now we've got a timeout on the field. We'll keep it here with 6:15 remaining here in the second quarter. Dowling with the lead 21-0 over Ankeny. And let's go down to the Dowling sideline. Let's get there's John Chudd. I don't know if our camera can get him or not. But, Johnny, give us your perspective on this Dowling sideline. The one time they didn't come up offensively, taken over for a turnover, they couldn't capitalize. But both sides of the ball have been playing pretty solid tonight for Coach Wilson.
Yeah, they sure have. And, the one thing that I've noticed from the start of this ball game is the intensity level with the sideline, on and off the field, has been at a high level. And we have not seen that for a couple weeks. The last time was the Johnson game, and it was to that level from start to finish, and that was a good turnout. And even tonight, it's been like that from the get-go. The offensive line is when they come off the field, the intensity level is good. The defense, same way. So I think it's been a great start to this ball game. I mean, obviously up 21-0.
And you mentioned intensity, John, and that's something that I think Coach Wilson, that'd be a good question for him going into half as we get back to live action. It's 3rd down and 4 for Ankeny. Line of scrimmage is the Hawk 23, and the quarterback is Bauer. Play action, fires the ball out, and the pass is incomplete. A little sliding catch that time. They say the ball was trapped, as the intended receiver that time was Jordan Cum, and he couldn't come up with a catch.
Yeah, Nate Collins was coming on a stunt off around the outside and making the play there and making Jace Power get rid of that ball quickly. So it sets the Maroons up with 4th and 4 here to get a decent return and get good field position.
Absolutely. And now Ankeny, as you mentioned, forced to punt, and that'll bring in the Hawk punter. It's the second time, a left-footed kick that time by Max Griffith. And
it might not surprise you that Matt Stillwell called for a fair catch on that one.
I think he learned from the last time. He's growing into that position. A fair catch signal for the Dowling 44, 6:04 remaining. And the Maroons lead it 21-0. And we're going to be joined at halftime by Noah Smith and Cole Schroeder from the Dowling cross-country team. Coach Eyes was unavailable. So was my cousin, his assistant coach, and so was the other assistant. So we got the 2 captains right behind us.
Let the kids talk.
Are these guys in good standing in the school, Max? You're the principal.
I think they're doing all right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So those are thumbs up, boys. and one of them just came off homecoming. He was the homecoming king, and that's Noah Smith. We'll talk more about that. All right, first down play for the Maroons. Toss play Murray, and Jason gets across midfield from his own 44, picks up 7 yards down to the Hawk 49-yard line. I'll bring up second down. And about 4 for Dowling.
Yeah, number 46, Yeti Toatia for the Ankeny Hawks on the stop there for them, and Jason getting to the edge and Ankeny limiting that play. It's still a good 6-yard run there, 7-yard run for Jason.
That just flowed off your mouth there, Matt.
I know.
Yeta Tawatia, and what an athlete he is. And I think his dad's down there listening. And now first down play for the Maroons, right up the gut goes Murray, and he's tackled at the 39. A pickup at 10. He didn't need that much, and a first down Dowling. That offensive line right over center. Hagan and company, Milt.
Yeah, and to the left side, and Ryan Bowles is back in the game there for the Maroons as they rotate those defensive tackle or offensive linemen around, and Jesse Alger right behind him on that play.
All right, 1st and 10, Dowling on the Hawk 39, handoff right up the gut is Murray. He's in the secondary, breaks the tackle, and he's going to be corralled from behind inside the 20. Hung onto the football, but dragged down from behind inside the 20. And that was probably a touchdown-saving tackle by the Hawks, and that being Nick Shirley, who wrapped him up.
Yeah, Shirley saved a touchdown there for the Hawks, and Jason made a nice cut and made the linebacker miss on the interior there and got to that edge. And he's finding that left side of the field and exposing it.
Yeah, Charlie Nank, Alex Curtin, and Greg Hagan on that left side. Handoff to Murray. Zigs and zags inside the 15 and runs into a defender there and dropped at about the 12-yard line, a pickup of 7. So Murray with runs of 7, 10, 20, and about 7 yards there.
Yeah, and again, that was Shirley on the stop, and Ray Crawford, number 1 for the Hawks on that play, and brings up that 2nd down and 4, which is, as a coach, that's where you want to be.
See if they take a shot at the end zone. Maroons are going to send 2 receivers to the right. Number 8 is Edward Thompson, and number 13 for Dowling is Jack Lyman. Waters out of the shotgun, looks that way. He's got Murray in front of him, and now Waters is going to keep the football, and he's drugged down inside the 15, and he leaned forward to about the 13. So he'll lose a yard on the play. Good defense that time by Ankeny. Their secondary had the Dowling receivers covered.
Yeah, we only had 2 guys out in the pattern. That play action play set up there. We only had Lyman and it looked like Thompson out there in the pattern, and that play is set up so that Zach can run the ball if nobody is open. And Ankeny did a really good job of preventing any type of gain on that play.
Halftime score from Southeast Polk. Southeast Polk leading Fort Dodge 14-3 in their district opener. And now here's a handoff right up the gut goes Murray, and he carries tacklers inside the 10 near a first down. Depends on how the pile got pushed and where the ball got spotted. And they're going to say first down Maroons, 1st and goal from the 8-yard line of Ankeny.
Right there, that offensive line got a great push, and it also helps when Levi Hummel is right there with that big frame, making a path for Jason. And as we've said all along, Jason just does a real good job of showing patience and following as he goes up in there. Actually, I think that was Drew Snediger. I will take that back. That was Drew Snediger on the lead there.
6-yard run for Murray. 1st and goal Dowling. They're going to say the ball's at the 7-yard line. Murray in motion to give the handoff the snap to Waters. He's going to take it to the end zone. Touchdown! Zach Waters, read option. They split Murray way to the left, and they had to defend him out there, and that opened up a gap. And the offensive line with Nank, Curtin, and Hagan on that left side all opened up a hole, and I think the tight end was involved too.
It was Jesse Alger pulled on that play right there, and he made a heck of a block in the middle of that thing and set it up for Waters to bring it into the end zone.
So a 7-yard run that time for Dowling Zach Waters. That is his 3rd touchdown of the night, and Dowling leads at 27-0. Extra point is up and good, and Maroons now with a 28-0 lead with 3:15 remaining here in the 2nd quarter. We'll take a timeout and be back. You're listening to Dowling Catholic Football here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network, and you're watching on the Central Iowa Sports Network.
Building a strong community doesn't happen overnight. It takes a vision for the future, the ability to turn a challenge into a success, and individuals who inspire new generations of growth. Greater Des Moines has done a lot of growing over the years, and so have we. At Brick Gentry Law, your success is something that we create together. Thank you for making us a part of your community.
Chevrolet's Power Price Truck and Crossover event featuring new 18 Silverado Double Cab LTs. Power lease, $259 per month lease.
Power price, $32,490.
New 18 Silverado Crew Cabs. Power lease, $429 per month lease.
Power price, $36,490.
Over 170 Traverse, Equinox, and Trax available. With 12 going on 13 years of year-over-year sales records, Schottenkirk knows how to sell Chevys. Schottenkirk Chevy, Waukee.
Chevy, find new roads.
WaukeeChevy.com.
To Valley Stadium. Here's the kickoff by the Maroons, and Peterson boots it. It bounces inside the 20, picked up at the 15-yard line by the kick returner for Ankeny, and he's hit and dropped maybe to the 20-yard line before forward progress is stalled, and that's number 3, Nick Shirley, on the return. And Maroons with a comfortable 28-0 lead. The Dowling defense, John Chidos, will go down to our Shield sideline reporter. Maroon defense is bent all night, but they haven't broke, and they've pitched a shutout here through almost 2 quarters.
Yeah, Ankeny's had some opportunities. The drop ball there when Ankeny was be able to get behind the receiver, and then Dowling linebackers came up big with the penetration, getting in there, forcing that quarterback for Ankeny to throw the ball quicker than he wants to, and it's been like that all night.
Yeah, it certainly have. First down Ankeny from their own 23-yard line with just over 3 minutes remaining. That last drive for the Maroons, 7 plays, 56 yards, capped off by quarterback Zach Waters' 3rd touchdown run. And Dowling with a 28-0 lead, and now the Hawks on first down to complete a pass up to the 34-yard line for a gain of 11. And it'll bring up 1st and 10 Hawks. And now they'll go back to the ground, and that's Boyd with it. And that's Bauer, rather, keeps it, fakes it to Boyd, and he keeps it around left end and gets up across the 40 to the 43-yard line, gain of 9. So the Hawks are in their 2-minute offense here with 2:40 left in the first half.
Yeah, they're really trying to get it positive going into half here, and this is a double pass.
Yep, and they got a man open, and that's Max Griffith down the far near sideline, pass incomplete. The double pass from quarterback Bauer, he threw that lateral pass to Grant Moeller, and Moeller overthrew the former quarterback Max Griffith, the senior, inside the Dowling 25.
I think he got a little excited because he saw Max Griffin down the field wide open, and he just overshot him. Again, throwing with the wind. The wind is a factor down there, impacting these balls as they're thrown down the field.
And Ankeny has the wind at their back, and that may have been a factor as that ball got underneath. And now here's a little swing pass. And I don't know if that's a bubble screen or not, but it's caught and getting outside the numbers and finally thrown down. Maybe a short gain that time was Jordan Cum with the catch.
Yeah, Owen Schultz on that play right there just made a nice tackle in the open field. They run the little bubble screen out there, and Owen came up and made the stick and stopped it for no gain.
And no gain, and now it's a penalty on the play against the Hawks, so that'll back him up if Dowling accepts.
I'm not sure what the...
And I thought I saw preliminary indication was hold, and we'll get the call from our referee here, Clint Nelson.
11, 10 yards penalty from the end of the...
Brody Brecht with the hold.
Yeah, on those receivers, they do practice that more in today's game because they do those bubble screens all the time out there, and it is such a tough block for those receivers on the edge.
3rd down, 11 now for Ankeny. Ball on their own 34. Back to throw is Bauer being chased. He's going to go down. Sacked in the backfield inside the 30, and Dowling got him.
Looked like Nate Collins got him at the feet there, and there was pressure from Nate and from Jack Keogh to set that up.
So Collins with the sack?
I believe we called timeouts because it is 4th down, yes.
Yep. And with 2:11 remaining here in this first half, we'll take a 1-minute break and return. Dowling 28-0 over Ankeny. Back in 1 minute on Iowa Catholic Radio.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
The other guys, they think they know what special means. At Godfather's Pizza, we do special, and we do it better. We add the T. There's a Godfather specialty pizza with your name on it. Classic.
And we're back here at Valley Stadium as Ankeny back to punt from their own 34-yard line, and the punt was got away, but Dowling going to be whistled for running into the kicker, and it might be on
It'll be interesting to see
Filer,
if it's
let's
running
see.
into the kicker or if it's a personal foul roughing the kicker.
Yeah.
It's a big difference here because it's
Five
fourth and 16.
So we'll see. And John Chido, you're on the Dowling sideline. Did Mr. Filer get in there just a little too close to the kicker for Ankeny?
Yeah, it was Jackson Filer and Ty Thompson, and then the kicker just fell right into him. I think it's going to be running into the kicker instead of roughing the kicker.
Our referee tonight, Clint Nelson.
I think that's right because
Here's
when they spend more time talking.
Yeah, the mic cut out there, but it's running into the kicker instead of roughing. So it'll be 5-yard penalty against Dowling, and the Maroons, or rather Ankeny, will have 4th and 11 from their own 29-yard line, and they'll punt it again.
Kind of assume that when the officials are taking more time explaining their call to the Ankeny coaches than to the Dowling coaches, that's going to be the 5-yard variety.
Yep, Stillwell and Thompson back deep, and here's the
that one
kick
went
away.
off the side of the foot.
And it's angling out of bounds, and it's still right around the 45 of Dowling, and that's where the Maroons will take over. They're going to say 1st and 10 Maroons from their own 46-yard line, minute 55 remaining in the first half. And stay tuned. At halftime, we're going to catch up with a couple of Dowling cross-country runners, Noah Smith and Cole Schroeder, both seniors, and they lead the number 1 ranked Dowling cross-country team this year. And we'll talk to them at halftime. And you said they were in good standing, Matt. So
good standing.
Good.
I want to know how many miles they put in this summer.
I got a lot of those questions. I got enough time. I got a hard enough time just going up the block and making sure everything's all right during a parade or something. But these guys, miles and miles. 1st and 10 Dowling from their own 47. A minute 55 remaining in the half. And Waters back to throw. Fires the ball downfield into traffic. The pass is incomplete. The intended receiver that time, as he tried to catch it in the crowd, was Colin Cook.
Yeah, Colin Cook tried to bring that in with one hand, and you can tell Zach really likes to get out in space and hum that football. I mean, he gets out there, and as those plays extend out to the sideline on the run, he really has a sharp arm. I mean, that arm is crisp, and he brings it.
And the Maroons now they're going to go hurry up with it. The clock stopped, minute 50 remaining in the half. 2nd and 10 Dowling. The Maroons lead it 28-0. Over Ankeny on Iowa Catholic Radio and the Central Iowa Sports Network. Toss play left side. That's Murray looking for a hole. Gets outside the seam, and he's near a first down. I think he's got the first down at the 40-yard line.
Come back.
But the penalty flag.
Yeah, we had a block in the back on the back side of that play, and it's a tough play for the Maroons. The kid was engaged, then got disengaged, and then came back and hit him in the back.
That'll move it back.
Unfortunately, when Jason was already by him.
Let's go down to the Dowling sideline for our Shield sideline report. That's John Chido. John, give us an update.
Yeah, Jason Murray on the little pitch play, and the holding penalties are being called after the running back is away from the play, so it's unfortunate. It's unnecessary to have that because it negates a nice gain there.
All right, so it'll bring up 2nd and 17 for Dowling Catholic. Our thanks to John Chido on the Dowling sideline. He'll catch up with head coach Tom Wilson right at halftime here in the next minute 35. Back to throw Waters. Now he's scrambling and gets a few yards, across the 45 and down at the 46-yard line. So he picks up 6 yards of that penalty.
Yeah, he really did not have any, but we only had one person out in the pattern. That play was supposed to be a pass out to Jason in the flats, and they covered it, and the only other person that was out in the pattern was, it looked like maybe Lyman way downfield, and Waters rolled the opposite way, so he had no choice but to run it.
Updated score at halftime. Ankeny Centennial leading Marshalltown 28-7 at halftime, so it must be one of the few games that are going a little bit long and trying to get to half. Dowling leading 28-0. Final minute of the first half, and now Waters and a handoff to Murray, and Jason just kind of slides his way, and he may have gotten back to line of scrimmage. Almost the old draw play as he angled to go back to throw did Waters, and then he handed off to Murray at the last minute. No gain on the play.
We're going to see if Ankeny is going to call a timeout. No, they're going to let the clock run.
30 seconds, the play clock at 20 seconds, so about a 10-second differential, and the Maroons will punt it away, and doing the kicking that time is Stillwell, and he bounces it inside the 20s, and it's still rolling with 18 seconds remaining, and it'll be down inside the 15-yard line. So a nice punt that time by Stillwell, and that's something that you don't see too often. A punt returner also doing the punting, Matt.
Well, what happened there was we lost a little confidence in the long snapping ability there, and that was a direct snap. The quarterback was under center, and he pitched it back to Stillwell, standing back there in the tailback position, so it's a quasi-quick kick type of a thing.
Tom used to run that when he first took over at Dowling. First couple of years we saw that. Matter of fact, I think Matt Hawk, who's now punting for the Miami Dolphins, an excellent athlete at Dowling, he kind of ran a version of that. They had that in the playbook. All right, 14 seconds remaining. Good call there, Mr. Maindring, and now Ankeny will down it, and we'll go to halftime with Dowling leading 28-0 over the Ankeny Hawks. A pair of a touchdown run by, or rather 3 touchdown runs by Zach Waters, 29, 1, and 7 yards, and then Waters a 27-yard pass to Jack Lyman to get things started for the first score of the Maroons. And Dowling puts up 4 touchdowns in the first half. They lead at 28-0 at half. Let's go down to John Chido. He's with Dowling head coach Tom Wilson.
Coach, great start to the first half. 28-0 is the score. Your thoughts?
Well, I thought we did some things well, but I honestly, you have to give a lot of credit to the defense. I mean, them holding them out of there when they're way deep in our territory, just because our punt team can't execute very well. But I thought our defense did a great job, and obviously we've mixed the run and the pass a little bit.
Well, good luck in the second half, Coach. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, John Chido catching up with head coach Tom Wilson as Dowling leads at halftime 28-0 over the Ankeny Hawks. And Coach has been pretty blunt. He was blunt during the pregame. When things aren't going right, he's going to tell you, and he's right behind it, because if they're going wrong, it's because of him, not his coaches, not the players. And he talked about the punt execution tonight, Matt.
It's hard to know what Tom's thinking sometimes. You got to love Coach Wilson, and he does. And as the coach, you are responsible, and your job is to get the kids in the best position to have the most success, and He's found a way to do it time after time.
He certainly has, and Dowling leading at halftime 28-0. Let's take a look at our first half statistics. And total offensive yards for Dowling, 288 yards. Ankeny with 130 yards of offense. Hawks with 72 yards in the air and 58 yards on the ground. For Dowling, the Maroons have passed the ball for 96 yards and have rushed the ball for 192 yards here in the first half. Maroons have been penalized 5 times for 29 yards, and Ankeny penalized 5 times for 42 yards in the first half. The Hawks have the lone turnover in the first half. Dowling with 12 first downs, Ankeny with 5. And individually, Zach Waters at quarterback for the Maroons, 4 of 8 passing, 96 yards and a touchdown. And Jace Bauer, 7 of 12 passing for Ankeny for 76 yards, no touchdowns and no interceptions. The leading rusher for Ankeny is the quarterback, Jace Bauer, 10 carries, 39 yards. Their starting tailback, Cale Boyd, 11 carries, 19 yards at halftime. For Dowling, Jason Murray, 14 carries, 144 yards, and averaging 10.5 yards a carry. And for Zach Waters, 8 carries, 48 yards, and 3 touchdowns leads the Maroons. For Dowling, Jack Lyman, the leading receiver, 3 catches for 77 yards and a touchdown. Edward Thompson, 1 catch for 19 yards. Leading receiver for Ankeny is Brody Breck, 1 catch for 39 yards. Jordan Cum with 3 catches for 14 yards. Grant Moeller, 2 catches for 10 yards. And Cale Boyd, 2 catches for 9 yards. So again, Dowling total offense in the first half. The Maroons with 288 yards. Ankeny with 130. And those numbers say a lot, Matt Maindring.
Yeah, they really do. In that first series, we really came out and set the tone for the night. And as John said on the sideline there, you really see the intensity. There was a different level of intensity from the Maroons in that first half. So now the band is ready out there.
Yeah, we're going to get pictures of the band. And, of course, John Chido, I don't know if you still have your mic up, but before we go to break, you got we got to talk about the dance team. Is that correct? Because your daughter's involved with that, Johnny.
I think we might. I don't know if John's down there.
He's
probably getting ready to watch his daughter.
Yeah, it's just going to be performance. So if you're here at the stadium, the Dowling band and dance team will be performing.
Yeah.
And we'll catch up because we have halftime interviews with Noah Smith and Cole Schroeder from the Dowling cross country team. And we'll get to those after this timeout. Again, our halftime score from Valley Stadium on a very chilly night, 28-0. Dowling leading Ankeny at the half, along with Matt Maindring and John Chido, Mark Hamadale, and you're listening and watching Dowling Catholic Football on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network and the Central Iowa Sports Network.
Why do I look for the seal? It's about trust. Whether I'm buying a car, hiring a contractor, finding a tax preparer, or an honest mechanic, the Better Business Bureau's seal means this business meets high standards. When I see the seal, I know I'll get what I pay for. No more taking chances and no more worries. And I feel good about supporting local businesses. My life is so much easier knowing I can always trust BBB accredited businesses. It pays to look for the seal. See for yourself at bbb.org/Iowa.
Hi, I'm Chris from Fireplace Superstore. September and October are the best times of year to sit outside, and we still have a great selection of 2018 merchandise, like this OWL Deep Seating group. Or maybe you'd prefer wicker, like this North Cape group. And fire pits. There's nothing better than sitting out on the deck in the fall with a nice fire going. But get here soon, because the sold tags are coming out quick, and you don't want to be too late. For great deals on great furniture, come to Fireplace
The other guys, they think they know what special means. At Godfather's Pizza, we do special, and we do it better. We add the T. There's a Godfather specialty pizza with your name on it. Classic combo, all meat combo, hot stuff, taco, yeah, even veggie and more. All of them piled high with the best toppings and 100% real cheese. Treat yourself special. Order specialty pizzas from Godfather's.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
Hi, Ron here, head coach of Westside Auto Pros. When your car's on the injured reserve, you want to get it back in the game.
8-0 over Ankeny here at the half, and I have a pair of gentlemen from the Dowling cross country team, and they are both captains, and they've been cleared by their principal to talk on the air tonight. I want to thank Noah Smith and Cole Schroeder for joining us. And Noah, you're sitting next to me. Thanks for joining us. Congratulations, by the way, named Homecoming King last week. That had to be quite an honor for you.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, you and Giroux were the Homecoming King and Queen. I'm not going to try to pronounce her last name, but talk about Homecoming a little bit before we get into the interview about the Dowling cross country team.
Yeah, it was lots of fun. I went with a girl named Grace Willie, and we went to have dinner at Americana downtown, and then we went to the dance, and it was a really good time. We took pictures down at the Capitol, and I left my Burger King crown down there on accident. So if you find a Burger King crown down by the Capitol, then you can keep it.
Well, we saw some, I'm sure those pictures made Twitter or Facebook, but did Coach Ives give you practice off on the homecoming?
Unfortunately, he did not, but he did excuse me being a little bit late after the homecoming assembly. I was a little bit late to practice, and he allowed that to be okay.
Okay, well, Noah, congratulations. Noah
Thank
Smith,
you.
the Dowling Catholic Cedar. On the end is Cole Schroeder, another senior. And Noah, you've been involved in a couple meets. Matter of fact, you'll want to meet this year. Is that correct? Am I doing my research?
I've not won a meet. I placed second at the first one, and then I've been up in the mix for the next few.
Up in the mix, okay.
Yeah.
That's how they determine it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, these guys are products of Tim Ives and his great coaching staff, including my cousin, Gerard Amadale, so don't hold that against me, gentlemen. But as Mr. Maindring, and Cole, I'll start with you. As Mr. Maindring said, what does practice endure? How many miles do you put on in a day, and are you kind of capped out at a week so you guys don't extend yourself? Talk about how much time you put in at cross-country practice.
Yeah, for sure. We go through different cycles of training throughout the year. Cross-country for us starts in June and continues all the way for some of the varsity guys until late November maybe. And just depends at what point of the season you're in. So in the summer you build up mileage. We'll start maybe 30 miles a week, but we'll like to peak out at about 55 miles, I think, is our peak this year. And that'll be running on 6 days. So there's a lot of days in those weeks where you run 9, 10, and then long runs can be up to 12 miles, 12, 13 miles. So they can be tiring, but it's all worth it. And our team is hopefully going to get some good results from the work we've put in. So.
Well, Cole, he talked about the training, but Noah, talk about the diet, because to run that many miles, you got to watch your diet, and you can't be eating where you ate for homecoming every night, I don't think.
For sure. Yeah, so Coach Ives even brings in a nutritionist from Hy-Vee, Ellen Davis, to come and talk to us about the different options we should be using to fuel ourselves, especially after we run and just throughout the day, different healthy options we should be eating for breakfast and for all our meals and for snacks. So that we're not just eating empty calories and we're eating healthy and getting the right amount. And also for hydration, we are sure to hydrate properly with Noon so we get all our electrolytes.
Okay, well, I'm going to write that down because I can't even get up to the block, and you guys are running miles and miles. Noah Smith, Coach Schroeder joining us here at halftime of Dowling's leading Ankeny 28-0 here at Valley State on a very chilly night. And Cole, go back to you. A question for you. You guys just participated in a big meet. It was a Heartland Invitational hosted by Des Moines Roosevelt, but you ran it down at Central College a few Saturdays ago. Talk about that because you guys, Dowling, placing second overall, team out of Edina, Minnesota, I believe, won it, but you were the top Iowa team, and that had to be quite the experience on a pretty good day, a very warm day down at Pella, Cole.
Yeah, for sure. I'd say the expectations for the team this year are very high. We have a lot of leadership and older runners. Varsity is composed of juniors and seniors that have all had a few years of experience, and just really everyone is looking toward the same goal, which would be the state title and hopefully qualifying for nationals. So it's been good to compete against other Iowa teams and just other teams around the Midwest in general. So we've had some good showings, and it's just, I think we're starting to get recognized nationally, and things are just looking great for the team right now. So we're very proud of how all the guys on the team have been working, and just hope we can continue the momentum.
Now, Cole, you're a four-year starter, but you started your career down in southeast Iowa before you moved to Des Moines, and so you've been in the state tournament. You know what that's all about, running the state tournament.
Yeah, I was fortunate enough to run my freshman year at state cross country, and it was awesome, great experience. And then dealt with some health issues sophomore year, and junior year just came up here, had to sit out and run JV for the whole year last year. So I'm hoping I can make it back to state for cross country with the team or individually, and it'd be my second appearance. But yeah, so it's a course I'd like to run at again and compete at.
You're talking about Kennedy Park up in Fort Dodge?
Yes.
Is that where you guys run?
Yeah.
All right. Well, Noah, talk about the meets that are left. I asked you guys, I said, okay, remember your schedule. You just had a big meet with the Heartland down in Pella. What do you guys have remaining before you start the districts?
So next Saturday, we're going to go up to Minnesota to run in the Roy Griak Invitational, which is a very big meet. Teams from all over the Midwest compete there, so that's another big meet, kind of like the Heartland. And then after that, we will run at Fort Dodge, which is also a good meet. And then conference starts after that, and then districts, and then state.
All right. Well, gentlemen, you want to say a shout-out to anyone? First of all, you want to compliment your coaching staff. Coach Ives couldn't be here tonight. That's why you're here, and neither could the rest of the staff. So shout-out to anyone you want, and Cole, we'll start with you.
All right. Shout-out Coach McCarty. He hopefully is watching right now. And then just like to shout out my boy Joe Seymour. So he's been putting in that work this year, and he's making big gains on the course. So shout out, bro.
All right, Noah, your turn.
Just like to give a shout out to Gerard Amadeo. He's awesome, great coach. Love all your support, coach. You're awesome, especially during fit course. And Jake Miller, you're also awesome, fellow captain.
All right, and you guys are you have how many captains on the cross country team this year?
There's four. There's two others besides us.
All right, name the other two.
Aiden Cunningham and Jake Miller.
All right, they've been recognized, and rightly so. Gentlemen, best of luck. I know you've won 2 of the last 3 state titles, correct? Last year was kind of a setback, and this year you're looking to get back into maybe you're ranked number 1 right now. We all know that, and that they're going to be coming after you. You know that, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
Well, best of luck to both of you. Thanks for coming up here on a very chilly Friday night. Best of luck in your training.
Thank you.
And Mr. Manning wants to talk to you after this. It sounds like there's something must have been said. So I'll let you guys deal with that while I go hide.
All right.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you,
Mark.
Awesome.
You bet, guys. Good best of luck. Noah Smith, Cole Schroeder joining us here at halftime. Halftime score, Dowling 28, Ankeny nothing. We'll return with the second half after this 2-minute break here on Iowa Catholic Radio and the Central Iowa Sports Network.
There's no doubt about it. Saving feels great. At Mid-American Energy, we love saving too. Saving the environment by supporting tree planting, which improves air quality. Saving money by investing in wind energy, which keeps rates low. And saving you energy by providing tips to help make your home more energy efficient. Which means you can take those savings and put your energy into having fun. Saving definitely feels great. So does being obsessively relentless.
Building a strong community doesn't happen overnight. It takes a vision for the future. The ability to turn a challenge into a success, and individuals who inspire new generations of growth. Greater Des Moines has done a lot of growing over the years, and so have we. At Brick Gentry Law, your success is something that we create together. Thank you for making us a part of your community. Thank you for 50 years.
Miss your hometown clothing store? The one that had it all? Everything to get the work done, all in one place? G&L Clothing is your hometown Iowa store. Stop in and see us. Or we're only a click or phone call away. Family owned for nearly a century. G&L Clothing. 1801 Ingersoll, Des Moines.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
$28-0, Dowling with the lead over Ankeny alongside Matt Maindring. I'm Mark Amadale, and we had an excellent interview with the two outstanding, talk about Dowling High School, seniors, captains of the cross-country team. Our thanks to them for stopping by here at halftime. And Matt, those guys are a delight, and I didn't realize one of them was going to give a shout-out to my cousin, but Noah Smith and Cole Schroeder did a tremendous job, and they represent the school well.
You know, the thing is with Coach Ives and that group, you only put, you're going to test me now, 6 guys on the, you only get to count 5, 6 runners.
Right.
We have 80, I don't know what the exact number is, somewhere around 80 guys out for cross country, which is just amazing. When you know that only a few, it's just like a family out there. And
sure.
Girls cross country is in the same boat, Coach Stortz and company there. They just do an outstanding job, and if you ever get a chance to go to the state cross country meet, you have to make the trip, but get there early because the parking is not
the best.
Is not ideal.
Yeah, it's
but
at Kennedy Park in Fort Dodge.
Yeah, it's
girls and boys cross country
girls
state.
and boys, yep. And we've been fortunate enough to be able, my wife and I, be able to be there the last 3 years to watch them run, and it is one of the best events to go to.
All right, let's catch up with our sideline reporter. We're going to keep it here as we're about ready to start the second half, and that's John Chido. And John, I tried to go to you earlier about the dance team, and you must have been away, but I'll give you that opportunity now. The Dowling dance team doing some great stuff too.
Yeah, they are. I do have to get accolades to that. My daughter's on the dance team. She's a senior. She's been on there for 4 years, and it's been a great experience for her and our family, and she really enjoys it. And she's made some lifelong friends along the way too. So it's been great.
Yeah, it's a senior year, John, and it's your oldest daughter, so this will be a very emotional year for you, and I can't wait till the fall and winter sports season gets underway when they're indoors.
Yeah, it's going to go quick, and my wife is already emotional, and I'm sure I'll be that way toward the end of the year with graduation and stuff like that. It's hard watching your oldest daughter get ready to go off to college.
Yeah, that is true. Well, congratulations to you and to her as we get ready to start the second half. And Matt Maindring, we did have a couple scores along the way, and we got some halftime scores from some of the other games going on, some of them on the Central Iowa Sports Network line. At halftime, Centennial leading Marshalltown 28-7. It was Southeast Polk leading Fort Dodge 14-3 at halftime. And those are just a couple scores that are been along the network. And here it's 28-0, Dowling with the lead over Ankeny, and the Maroons will receive the kickoff in the first half and try to leave off where they started back in the first half and try to hopefully march the ball downfield and get that consistency that Coach was talking about.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they get that, start this first series the way they started the ball game. It's going to be a very promising second half for the Maroons.
All right, here is the kickoff, and it goes into the end zone as Edward Thompson fields it, but he let the ball pass the plane of the goal line. So it's an automatic touchback in Iowa, in high school football rather, and it'll be first down Dowling as we get back to live action. The Maroons lead at 28-0. Next week we'll be on the south side of Des Moines, and we may have a few people stop by because that's my old stomping grounds, and you may be fed pretty well next week, Mr. Mainring.
Right.
As
you can hear some stories too.
Well, I don't know about the stories. We'll have to cut those off, but we'll enjoy the food as we'll be on the south side. Dowling and Lincoln, district week number 2 of district play in District 1, and we'll be at Lincoln and Hutchins Stadium next Friday. All right, here's the snap, and on the 20 from the 20-yard line, handoff to Murray, and he scampers around, zigzags, and gets the first down across the 30, and he gets across up to about the 33-yard line, a 13-yard run on first down for Dowling.
Yeah, great push from that offensive line, going over that left side and behind Curtin and Nank, and just a good solid push across the front. Hagan and we get Alger out there at tackle again, and Joe Ryan back in there at guard. Just a solid set from that offensive line.
13-yard run for Murray, and it's a first down, and now we've got whistle.
Yeah, I think Ankeny had someone cross the line of scrimmage and come back. It'll be interesting to see if they pick up the flag here. Dowling didn't move, but they reset, so I don't know what the call is going to be here.
On the offense, number 79.
They're going to get Dowling for the false start, and that is on Jesse Alger, the right tackle for the Maroons. So it'll bring up 2nd and 5 for Dowling. First and 15 for Dowling.
Yeah, the Dowling coach staff is questioning that, but I think what happened on the other side was one of our guys did twitch and didn't come back to set. So,
all right, well, Maroons are penalized 5 yards. They'll work out of the pistol formation as Dowling leads at 28-0 here on Iowa Catholic Radio. Thanks for joining us tonight as Maroons offense with one receiver left and one on the right. The give is to Murray. He runs over to the left side, picks up some of that yardage. Still loose. First down at midfield. Inside the 40 of Ankeny. Down the near side. Breaks a tackle at the 30, and he'll go all the way. Touchdown, Jason Murray. Oh, was that ever a beautiful run of 73 yards and a Dowling touchdown. And it was a slow developing play, Matt, but Jason picked his spots when he had to wait for his blockers and when he had to avoid a tackle.
Yeah, we've seen that a lot tonight where they've run the play. It looks like that stretch play going to the right side, and he just sets up that back side and cuts that ball back to the left side and gets behind Nank and Curtin as they clear a path for him, and he accelerated. One kid had an angle on him, but he accelerated and went by him.
He certainly did. He avoided a tackle right around the 30-yard line. Now the extra point by Drew Peterson. The ball is down. The kick is up. And Drew Peterson is 5 for 5 in extra points. And Dowling now will have the running clock. With 11:17 remaining third quarter, it's Dowling 35, Ankeny nothing. Back in 1 minute on Iowa Catholic Radio and the Central Iowa Sports Network.
Schottenkirk Chevrolet September Closeout, featuring up to 25% off select new 18 Silverado Crew Cab LTs, new 18 Trax LT, $179 per month through the end of the month in Waukee. Get up to $10,000 off select new 18 Suburban and Tahoes, new 2019 Equinox LT, $199 per month. With 12 going on 13 years of year-over-year sales records, Schottenkirk knows how to sell Chevys. The September Closeout, Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. Chevy, find new roads. WaukeeChevy.com. Schottenkirk Chevrolet's Power Price Truck and Crossover event, featuring new 18 Silverado Double Cab LTs. Power lease, $259 per month lease.
Power price, $32,490.
New 18 Silverado Crew Cabs. Power lease, $429 per month lease.
Power price, $36,490.
Over 170 Traverse, Equinox, and Trax available, with 12 going on 13 years of year-over-year.
And here's a kickoff by Dowling Catholic, and it's picked up by Nick Shirley, and he's driven down, tried to get the return, and he gets all the way up to the 13-yard line. And that'll be a first down for Ankeny as the Maroons lead at 35-0. We have the continuous clock. The high school rule is the mercy rule. You lead by 35 points or more in the second half. The clock continues to run. And that drive for Dowling, 2 plays, 80 yards, capped off by Jason Murray's first touchdown of the night from 73 yards. And that's going to put him over 200 for the evening. Let's go down to John Chido for our Shields sideline report.
Well, that was just a nice run by Jason Murray. Good job up front by the offensive lineman. It was a misdirection counter play. As Coach Marcucci would call it, a trap play. And scampered 70 yards down the sideline, pretty much untouched. But a great job up front blocking by the offensive line.
It certainly was. And now Ankeny with the football. They start at their own 13-yard line, and Boyd to the carrier. And he gets across the 15, maybe up to the 17 for a gain of 4. But the Maroons starting to pick away. They went through the air tonight with the touchdown to Lyman and a couple passes in that second drive that set up a Waters 29-yard run for a touchdown. So they went through the air and they run on the ground the last several. And now here is quarterback Bauer back to throw, fires the ball downfield and threw behind his intended receiver at the 30-yard line. It's incomplete, as the intended receiver was Jordan Cum for Ankeny.
Yeah, Jack Keogh was able to get a hand on that ball and then almost tipped it up high enough for Ashton Brown to come in and make the pick. They've been running a lot of those bootleg motion, running Bauer back to his right side. And that time Dowling stayed home and was able to stay in coverage and make a play.
35-0 Dowling. Continuous clock right now. 9.5 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. Ankeny with the football. A 3rd and 6 from the Hawk 17. And right up the middle goes Boyd. And he may have gotten up to the 22-yard line. He's near a first down. And officials say first down. So right at the 23-yard line. Good job by Boyd that time. Extra effort got the first down.
Yeah, that one is Hummel and Keogh, the two linebackers. No, that was Max Bay. Let me get that right. Max Bay on the bottom of that pile with Keogh on the stop.
So 1st and 10, Hawks from their own 23, and now the read option. The quarterback will keep it, Bauer, and he has nowhere to go. Might have been better off giving it to Boyd in the first read, but he ended up taking it, and Jace was hit and dropped back at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Jack Schultz and about 6 other maroon jerseys on the stop there for Dowling, and sets up a second and long situation.
I want to thank Kemen and Mercy Medical along with Two Rivers Glass and Door for supporting our broadcast here on Iowa Catholic Radio. Back to throw is quarterback Bauer, fires the ball downfield, and pass is incomplete, and I don't know if that was hit or tipped at the line of scrimmage.
It looked, yeah.
The official
was calling a tip ball, and I think he just got hit on the release, and the ball came out and fluttered up there. And fortunate for Ankeny that ball was not picked off. It really ended up out in no man's land, and
very dangerous.
And falls harmlessly to the ground.
Last night in district play, Sioux City East defeated Des Moines Hoover 38-25. Both Sioux City East and Hoover on Dowling's schedule later in the year. Here's Boyd with the handoff. He tries to turn the corner, and he's hit and dropped. May have lost the yard back to the 22-yard line, so a loss of 1 on the play.
Yeah, Drew Peterson stayed home on that play and didn't bite on the counter action and was able to make that stop for no gain, and that puts them into a punting situation.
So no gain on the play by Boyd. As, again, Sioux City East up in Sioux City defeated Des Moines Hoover 38-25. Tonight, number 1 ranked Valley is at Council Bluffs Jefferson. Here's the punt, and getting it away is Max Griffith, and it's a high kick, and it's fielded by Stillwell right around the 42-yard line. That's where Dowling will take over. 1st and 10 from their own 42-yard line. 7:10 remaining here in the third quarter, continuous clock. Dowling leading 35-0. Let's take a look at some of the top 10 teams. Number 1 team is Valley, and they're at Council Bluffs Jefferson tonight. Cedar Falls is the 2nd-ranked team. They've already played Ankeny this year, and they're taking on, or they're traveling to Dubuque Hempstead. 3rd-ranked Centennial is leading Marshalltown, and that game is at Ankeny tonight. Bettendorf is hosting Cedar Rapids, Washington. They're the 4th-ranked team, and Dowling, the 5th-ranked team, leading Ankeny 35-0 here. We'll get some of the rest of the top 10 as we go through when we get a break. And now the Maroons as their second quarterback in, and that is Zach Prey, and he gives it to the tailback, and that is Jason Murray, who's still in there, and he's across the 45 up to about the 47 there, Matt, for a gain of 5.
Yeah, good to see Zach Prey back out there and getting in some snaps on the offensive side of the ball and keeping him sharp, letting him run the offense here. And it's all starters out there yet for Dowling as this group runs. Now we do have a new running back in the game. Looks like Chance Hauschelt out back there now for the Maroons.
Yeah, Chase Hauschelt in the backfield as Tegan Johnson did not dress tonight, out with a shoulder injury. And if you joined us late, Maroons losing their starting kicker due to a collarbone, and now a handoff right up the gut it goes, and that is Hauschelt with the carry, and Chase down into the Ankeny territory at the Hawk 41-yard line. And that's a pickup of about 8 yards for a first down.
Yeah, nice blocking on that left side there by Nank and Curtin again, and Snedeker on the lead on that one, and Chase just put it into gear and straight ahead run for the gain.
12-yard run, for Hauschelt. Ankeny showing blitz. First and 10 Maroons from the Hawk 41, and the give is to Hauschild, and he barrels his way. A nice hole in the left side. Left tackle and left guard did a nice job, and Hauschild picks up the first down at the 31 of Ankeny.
That left side of the line is really getting things done tonight. I wonder how many yards we have between the left hash and the sideline tonight. All of the big runs have been on this side of the field, and we're really chewing up the yardage on that side.
And, Matt, we know this, that Jason Murray is over 200 yards rushing, so you can tack on some more from the rest of this group, including Waters and Hauschild. Now here's a handoff, Hauschild, penalty flag down. Hauschild now driven down, gets the first down at the 20. This might be coming back as they put the penalty flag back at the 32-yard line of Ankeny.
Yeah, an offensive lineman and defensive lineman get tied up, and I think they get hung up on each other, so they're going to call the hold on that.
And tonight's game on Iowa Catholic Radio, supported by Catholic Tuition Organization, along with R&R Realty, Skeffington's Formal Wear, and Tumia and Sons. Here's the penalty.
79. That's a 10-yard penalty from the spot on the top. Replay for.
It's like a replay of the down, but it's on number 79, Jesse Alger, with the penalty, the hold there, Matt.
Yeah, I think I said it was more or less getting tied up and again, away from the football on that play there. But
lose the ball back to the 41-yard line, so that's about a 20-yard loss for Dowling. Here's a little quick pass by Prey, and it's caught, and that's Colin Cook with the catch. Gets some of those yards back, and he's driven down right at the 32-yard line of Ankeny to pick up a 9.
Yeah, Coach Wilson dialed up a little rollout there for Zach Prey. Now that he's been in the game, get a couple snaps and rolled him out to his right, and he makes a nice throw out there to Colin Cook and gets all that penalty yardage back.
So it brings up second down, 13 for Dowling. The ball on the 33-yard line, they'll call it, of Ankeny, and now Prey inside handoff to Hauschild, and he's hit and driven down back at the 35-yard line. He'll lose 2 yards in that Ankeny defense. Ankeny in their white jerseys with gold pants making the stop.
Yeah, the uniforms make it a little bit difficult to get wrapped up in there, and it was hard to tell. That might be Yeti Toatia again for Ankeny on that stop, and he made a nice play there because that was a read option play, and he forced Zach gave it, and he still stayed on the running back there and makes a nice play on that from that right side.
Yeah, with the stop, and it brings up 3rd and 14 Dowling. Prey back to throw, avoids pressure in the pocket, rolls to his right, and he's going to be hit and goes out of bounds at the 35 for no gain. It'll bring up 4th down for Dowling, and he was being chased. Zach did a good job staying in the pocket until it collapsed, and then he ran to the far sideline right in front of the Ankeny bench, and out of bounds at the 35 for no gain.
Yeah, Ankeny brought pressure on that play and from the right side, and Zach did a real nice job of avoiding the first one, and then couldn't get out there and couldn't get any open space to get rid of the ball. Kind of out here in no man's land right now, so it looks like Coach Wilson's going to go to it. It's in that spot where it's too long for a field goal, and the punt doesn't gain you a whole lot if it goes in the end zone, so they're going to go for it.
Well, Eibach is in slot, or in the top of the formation. Back to throw is Prey. Fires the ball out. It's caught near first down as the receiver with the catch. And that might be Eibach. Let's see. And he's driven down right at the 20-yard line. If so, that's that first down for the Maroons.
I think we're going to get another 15 on the play. I think Zach Prey got hit late. He makes a nice throw on the slant play there to get the first down, and I think he was hit late. Let's see.
Officials will talk about that. Let's go down to our Shield sideline reporter. That's John Chido. And Johnny, come on in.
They're going to get a late hit on number 55 for Ankeny. After Zach Prey released the ball, he got
that's
knocked
on
to the
Rainey.
ground.
That's Connor Rainey. And who made the catch, John? Because I thought it was Eibach over there in one slot.
Yeah, you're right, Mark. And it was a quick slant. It's kind of a read option play, and hit him in motion and made a nice run after the catch to get the first down.
He certainly did. So Eibach with a big catch as the official now marks off the yardage. As Eibach got it down, they spot him at the 21, or 20-yard line. Gain of 15, and they're going to tack on 15 more, as you mentioned, Matt. That'll be half the distance down to the 10. So it's 1st and goal Maroons.
The official just had to do a 40-yard sprint to go back and get his flag.
You think his partners would have helped him?
That's what we're waiting for right now here between the plays.
So Eibach with the catch, 1st and goal, Dowling at the 10-yard line. 2.5 minutes remaining third quarter. Dowling 35-0 over Ankeny. And here's a handoff to Hauschild. Quarterback Prey.
I haven't seen this yet. They changed the rule, I thought. I thought when the the helmet comes off the player, doesn't the play get blown dead in high school football?
Doesn't get blown dead, but the player has to go out for a play.
Yeah, he has to leave for a play.
It's not blown dead. They don't do that. Otherwise, they'd be taking.
It was one of those rules that changed since I retired from the sideline.
Good excuse.
That's my story.
Good excuse. Stick to it. Gain of 1 that time for Hauschild. They'll bring up 2nd down and goal for Dowling at the 9. 2 receivers to the left for Dowling. And the tight end is on the left. Fullback this time for the Maroons is Drew Snediger, and the handoff goes to the tailback Hauschild, and he's into the end zone for a touchdown. Chase Hauschild, and I'll tell you what, nice job
We're
up front.
have another flag.
Nice job up front for the Maroons. And you're right, a flag back at the 5-yard line. This will be coming back.
This call is interesting because the 2 Dowling blockers, and I only caught the back side of this, but they were blocking their guys, and they took the 2 Ankeny guys and ran them into each other, and they ended up falling down, so it looks like that's a
Replay 2nd down.
And I'm not sure who they called it on.
But I think there was 2 of them. Well, they both defenders went on the ground. They were pancake blocks. I mean, but they think they fell over each other, and it just
okay. Well, that
tough one to take.
Yeah, it is. Moves the ball back, and Dowling now is Hauschild in at tailback. He'll stand right behind quarterback Zach Prey. Line of scrimmage is back to the 15-yard line. Off the holding call. Here's Prey with it. Read option, give to Hauschild, and he drives forward and is stopped at the line of scrimmage where he's stacked up. Going to bring up 3rd down and goal for Dowling at the 15-yard line of Ankeny. Final minute and 20 of the 3rd quarter. Dowling leading 35-0. Yes, we have the continuous clock, which means it doesn't stop due to the mercy rule until Ankeny can close the gap under 35 points here in the second half.
It's going to be interesting to, this is 3rd and goal from the, what are we at, the 15? This is a long one. We bring an extra tight end in, so we 4 receivers out there.
Yeah, he did, and here's the snap. Prey back to throw, wants to throw towards the end zone, fires it out. The pass is caught, and he will line up to the pylon, and he's out of bounds at the 1-yard line. Great catch by Colin Cook. He tried to reach for the pylon, and it's on the far end of the stadium, and he didn't quite get it. Referee says out of bounds at the 1.
Yeah, what a great effort by Colin. Nice throw by Zach Prey in motion there, and he's on it and hit Colin right in stride.
Here's Prey, quarterback sneak in for the score here, Matt.
Yep.
Prey on a 1-yard run with 26 seconds remaining here in the 3rd quarter, and Dowling now tacks on another score. It's 41-0 Maroons, but John Chido, how about that catch by Colin Cook, and how about the ball thrown by Zach Prey?
Oh, it's a great pass by Zach Prey on the rollout to his right, and Colin Cook ran a nice route. He got on the outside shoulder, one-on-one coverage to the outside, and made a nice break on the football, and there was no way for the Ankeny defender to defend it because it was a great pass in a great spot for Zach Prey.
Now Prey will stay in to hold, and now the extra point, and now Dowling's going to audition some more kickers. A left-footed kick is up, and it is good by the Maroons. We got to pick up the number, and that is, I believe, number 18 for Dowling. That's Jack Calvert on the extra point. 42-0 Maroons. We'll take a 1-minute break and return. You're listening to Dowling Catholic Football on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network and the Central Iowa Sports Network.
There's no doubt about it. Saving feels great. At Mid-American Energy, we love saving too. Saving the environment by supporting tree planting, which improves air quality. Saving money by investing in wind energy, which keeps rates low. And saving you energy by providing tips to help make your home more energy efficient. Which means you can take those savings and put your energy into having fun. Saving definitely feels great. So does being obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Every month or so, there's another story in the media about when and how often we need to get our mammograms. Kind of confusing. When this happens, I like to consult with experts. So I called Iowa Radiology. They recommend women get an annual mammogram starting.
Welcome back to Valley Stadium. The kickoff by Dowling and the return that time by Cale Boyd for Ankeny, and the Hawks will have it First and 10 from their own 23-yard line, but not before we've come to the end of the third quarter here at Valley Stadium. So we'll go right back to break. Our score, Dowling 42 and Ankeny nothing. Back in 1 minute on Iowa Catholic Radio and the Central Iowa Sports Network.
You want to get stronger, faster, healthier. You want more. You want to be part of something bigger than yourself. A place for people of all ages, all walks of life, that provides opportunities for all to succeed. We do that. We're the why. Build more than muscle. Build a stronger community.
Building a strong community doesn't happen overnight. It takes a vision for the future, the ability to turn a challenge into a success, and individuals who inspire new generations of growth. Greater Des Moines has done a lot of growing over the years, and so have we. At Brick Gentry Law, your success is something that we create together. Thank you for making.
And we're back here at Valley Stadium as we start the fourth quarter with the continuous clock as the Ankeny Hawks start first and 10, and they carry up to the 38-yard line as they run a play here to start the fourth quarter, Matt.
Yeah, we get some fresh guys up front in that defensive line, and Michael Keogh there was on the stop for the Maroons, and there. Now the Maroons, those guys at first snap, they got to get their speed down. That one looked a lot better from that defensive front.
And converging on the play as a handoff that time into the line for Ankeny. Jace Bauer still at quarterback, and
we got Theo Davis, Jackson Filer up front now for the Maroons. Looks like.
Now the Hawks with Bauer at quarterback. He continues under center. And he fakes the handoff, rolls to his right, runs a little bit of the waggle play, sets up, fires the ball downfield, and it's intercepted by the Maroons. Interception at midfield, and Dowling now running out of bounds with it.
Ashton Brown.
Is number 10, Ashton Brown. How about that?
Yeah, nice play by the senior there, and comes up and makes a big play and gets the ball back for the Maroons. And we got, it put pressure on Bauer there as he rolled out, and he threw it into traffic.
Yeah, it looked like they were going to set up an ISO with like a tight end or something,
Yeah.
but he had three receivers to select from, and Brown runs it back for Dowling on the interception to the Hawk 43-yard line. Let's go down to our Shields sideline reporter. That's John Chido tonight. John, take it away.
You know what I liked about that play by Ashton is when the quarterback opens the opposite way and then rolls back the other way, Ashton stayed at home and played defensively sound football and made a nice break on that interception.
And John will be thinking about who to interview here in the post-game show, so I'm sure you've got a few names you'd like to decide upon. So we'll kind of put that thought in your mind as Dowling now takes the field on the offensive end. First and 10 Maroons from the Hawk 43, and Zach Prey in at quarterback as he has relieved Zach Waters. The Maroons lead at 42-0, and an inside handoff and going nowhere for maybe about a half a yard loss to bring up second down and 11.
We have Ryan Bowles in there now on the offensive front. Joe Ryan, Nolan Sinot as we work across that offensive line along with Tyler Stein.
A lot of new jerseys in there. Zach Prey is the quarterback. He wears number 14. Hauschild in at tailback. Keep in mind Tegan Johnson is not dressed tonight. And now Prey will keep the football, a little rollout, and he tried to get behind one of his guards that pulled, and he gets it down maybe to the 44 for a gain of 1.
Yeah, defensive tackle number 54, Logan Brown on the stop there, along with Brecken Manis, another sophomore for the Hawks.
Check that, a loss of 3. They spot his knee down back at the 46. So the Maroons now with 3rd and 13 from the 46 of Ankeny, and now somebody a little bit quick with the snap count. The right tackle and the right halfback both start at the same time. I don't think you can do that. I know that you could do that in Sheldon maybe once in a while, but not down here. As Will Lenhart was guilty. He was the halfback. You never did that up in Sheldon, did you? You don't get away with that stuff.
No, we would not.
It pushes the Maroons back 5 yards to their own side of the field, back to the 49 on the penalty. All right, here's Prey, and the give is to Hauschild. Chase trying to find a hole over the left guard, left tackle, and he gets down to the Ankeny 47-yard line, and that'll bring up 4th down for Dowling.
Yeah, again, number 46, Yeti Toatia for the Hawks, and Romello Gray at the bottom of that stop there for the Hawks.
8:05 remaining here in the 4th quarter. Dowling under the continuous clock as the Maroons lead at 42-0 to start out district play. The Maroons will travel to Des Moines Lincoln next Friday night, 7 o'clock kickoff. There's no preliminary game, and now we've got a timeout on the field. For Ankeny, they will travel to Des Moines Hoover next Friday night. Hoover losing last night to Sioux City East 38-25. Those are two teams that will be on Dowling's schedule. Here's a penalty.
On the defense, 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
And an illegal substitution on the Ankeny defense. 5-yard penalty gives the Maroons.
One of the toughest things when you're working, getting young players in, is on the special teams. And Ankeny got caught with too many guys on the field.
And Dowling will punt the ball away, and kick is a high short kick, and it's rolls inside the 20 and takes a Dowling roll right along the boundary inside. It's got about 4 yards, and it's about 6 inches from the sideline. It's out of bounds finally and down to the 12-yard line. Nice job by the Maroons.
Was that punt by Jack Keogh?
Yes. He's been in there. I saw Keogh in there. They've kind of been auditioning punters tonight. As
I don't know. I
get my too deep out.
I couldn't quite catch the number. The only person I saw walking away from back there was Jack. I'm not
Drew
sure.
Johns has been out there. Jake Calvert,
Maybe it was
and
Jake.
might have been
Jake.
Keogh.
Yeah.
But you're right. Let's go down to the Dowling sideline, and that is where our Shield sideline reporter is, and that's John Chido.
You know, that punt ended up being a great turnout because it's now spotted at the 12-yard line. But I promised to give a shout-out to Jim Harvey. I sent a picture to Mark
Yes, you did.
last week, and he listens to every football game for probably since you've been on the radio, Mark.
Does he listen to every play, though, John?
Yeah, I think he does. He's one of those loyal listeners.
Well, we appreciate that, and I know Mr. Maynard is going to be talking about that. But, Mr. Harvey, thank you for being a loyal listener and listening every Friday night to Dowling Catholic football. There's a lot of those out there, and I know we want to give a shout-out to a special lady who's a pretty good friend of Coach Wilson. I don't know if you administrators know that, but she likes Coach Wilson, and that is our good friend Bev Whipple. And,
Yes.
Matt, you had an opportunity to meet her
I
this
got an
week.
opportunity to meet her this week, and there's some things that happen during the week in our office that you learn as you go through. And Bev, we get the pleasure of seeing Bev weekly, as she's got to have a visit with Coach Wilson weekly. And it's and I think there's some cookies. I'm not sure of everything that's involved in this.
Does Coach Wilson share those with you?
Well, no.
I didn't think so.
No. So, but she is an outstanding lady, and
She is. She's a dear.
That's true Dowling support when you talk to someone like that.
I know Bev, with her husband Art passing away earlier this year, and the funeral was in July. I know she doesn't get to as many games as she normally does, but she becomes like many of our listeners. Now they are listeners. Now they're home listening on a very cool night or a rainy night. We're out here doing the dirty work, but we appreciate that. And Bev, we love you, and we thank you for all you do for the Dowling program team and for Coach Wilson. That keeps him kind of balanced, doesn't it, during the week?
That's right.
But he doesn't share any of that stuff. I don't doubt that.
Coach,
I told him the other
Coach is
day.
a quiet guy, and so
very quiet.
It's fun to see someone like Bev bring a different side out.
The Maroons force a punt, 4th and 7 now from the Ankeny 15, and now they'll stop the clock with 5:03 remaining. Keep in mind we'll have our post-game show here on Iowa Catholic Radio. Mark Emmerdale, Matt Maindring, and John Chido will be involved with that, as a couple of ladies up here with Iowa State gear on, Matt. And as you know, I wear the black and gold, and my house, I'm beat before I open the door. So.
I choose to ride the fence on that. I like to cheer for both.
Yeah, Tom Wilson's learned to do that too. He's done that, and so is Gary Swenson here at here at Valley.
I think when you're in the coaching world, you just like to see your players as they go off and they play for the different schools, and so it's hard to cheer against. When you see, especially when you're in the coaching ranks, there's so many Iowa kids on both teams.
There is.
Coach Campbell, Coach Ferenc, they just do a great job of recruiting these in-state guys. And in the coaching arena, you just love to see other coaches' kids be successful out there. So it's a lot of fun to see. So it's hard to root against them.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And we had a timeout on the field. I think Ankeny called timeout. They have 2 left, Dowling with 3, and now here's the punt. by the Hawks, and it's a high end over end kick. Bounces at midfield and takes an Ankeny bounce. It'll roll inside the 45, and the Hawks will down it as Stillwell lets it roll to the 40, and that's where Dowling's offense will start. 1st and 10 from their own 40. 4 minutes, 40 seconds remaining here in the fourth quarter. Dowling with the lead, 42-0. And let's go down to the Dowling sideline. That's where our Shields sideline reporter. And, John, you can chime in here. You can pick a favorite team because you've been it up at Iowa State. And I think he's now on both sides of the fence.
Is he?
Iowa State and Iowa. But go ahead.
Bad.
I am. But, I was an Iowa State fan incognito during the Iowa State-Iowa game. But my youngest, John Henry, decided to wear an Iowa State jersey. And Koenig Stadium.
How'd that work out in that section you were in, John?
It was not good. Not good at all.
Not good, yeah. There's a story to that, Matt, but he won't tell it on the air, and I won't either.
That's probably okay.
Yeah. First down for Dowling, the ball on their own 41-yard line. And let's see, we got a lot of players in there for Dowling, and I think Austin, let's see. They trade quarterback. We got to catch up on the field here as they interchanged quarterbacks.
Running quarterbacks in and out right now, and that looks to be
Hank Hemrick in there, number 12.
Yeah,
that's what I got.
I got a chance to visit with his mom today. Hank's mom was in the office, and again on Friday afternoons, you never know who's rolling through.
Yeah.
there, so
was it parent-teacher conferences or was
no?
Something? Okay, good.
Just getting their Dowling gear.
Oh, here's Hemrick with it, and he runs around right end, keeps the football, tucks it under. Gets a block downfield, and he's tackled about the 47-yard line.
We're going to get a face mask on the end of this play here. Look to me like it's going to be an incidental, maybe the 5-yard variety.
So the Maroons start at their own 41-yard line, and it is a face mask. Oh, it's the big one. 15-yard penalty. Says our referee, who's crew doing a nice job tonight, Clint Nelson. They've called a lot of penalties, but you know what? That's how you learn. And both coaching staff, Rick Nelson at Ankeny and Tom Wilson at Dowling, they'll show their kids what they did. And I bet we have 10 penalties each for each team. So Clint Nelson, John Gorish, Stan Siepke, Luke Reimers, and Ross Jensen, the officials tonight. Now Maroons keep the ball on the ground.
I think what we're doing is we're rotating quarterbacks here between Dominic Marasco and Hank Hemrick. And
we're rotating guards too.
So it's both quarterbacks. Both these junior quarterbacks are getting some reps right now, and this is valuable time for them as they get out there and get a chance to feel like what it is to be on the field.
All right, the Maroons now with a second down. It's Hank Hemrick in at quarterback out of the pistol. 2nd and 6 from the 33 of Ankeny, and the give is to the tailback, and that one is Jack Meyer, the young sophomore running.
That was a nice hard run by Jack there into the line, and he knew he was going to take some punishment. He dropped his shoulders. Oh, that's going to be...
That'll move this all back.
Yep.
As Meyer carries to the 33, and it's like it's going to be against Dowling.
One thing about rotating the quarterbacks like they're doing right now is you make sure the play call gets right, and so you don't have these with all the hand signals and everything that get used right now. So Hank comes off, and he'll get the play for the next one, and Dominic Marasco is out there now taking the snap on this one.
In the backfield is Jack Meyer along with Will Lenhart at fullback. And here's Dominic Marasco at quarterback. High snap. Marasco gets it down, and now he runs to his right, and he can't turn the corner, and he's stacked up at the 47-yard line for no gain. I want to thank the folks from the Central Iowa Sports Network. Our webcast director tonight is Ruben Garza. Done a great job. Connor Morris is does all the camera work along with Clayton Sampson. Connor's in our booth here, and Clayton's in the other booth with the coaches. Matt?
Well, that was Brock Chido. We talked about the young man earlier. He was in the tackle on that last play along with Brecken Manis.
That is the worst combination. Chido tackling Marasco. Oh, this will not play well Monday morning. This is not good. I can't. Oh, my goodness. Thanks for that. All right, handoff goes to the tailback for the Maroons as Dowling just keeps interchanging tailbacks quarterbacks.
Max Bakken at running back there, number 32, I believe that was.
It's Jack Meyer, 38.
Jack Meyer, yeah, okay.
Minute 30 remaining. 4th down for the Maroons. 4th and 13. And the play clock running to 20. We'll see how that all figures here. Minute 20 remaining. 42-0 Dowling. We'll have the post-game show. And a couple players. I know John Chido's probably thinking of a few players to interview. We had defense last time. Might see an offensive player or two. We'll see. All right, the Maroons going forward on 4th down. Marasco at quarterback. 2 receivers left. 4th and 14 Dowling. Good snap. Marasco, he's going to follow his left tackle and left guard. And plows his way down to the 38-yard line, and he will not get the first down. And the Maroons will turn the ball over with 50 seconds remaining.
And they changed this rule, I believe, not too long ago. The clock keeps running even though there's a change of possession.
Yep.
Yeah, they used to stop it on the change of possession.
So John Chido, the Chido tackling Marasco, that's not going to go well Monday. I just got a bad feeling.
No, probably not, Mark. And I don't even know if Darren's even listening.
He's got his twins up. He's listening. He's only a few blocks away from us here. Our cohort.
He probably can still hear Denny over the PA.
I'm sure he can.
I think they can hear him incoming.
My wife hears him at Walmart when the JV games are going on, Matt. But Denny does. Hey, he wants to make sure Dowling's heard.
Yeah, he does a great job. I mean, it's a blessing to have him behind the mic doing what he does. And now Ashton Brown gets the last tackle of the ball game.
And that'll do it. Final score: Dowling 42, Ankeny nothing. The Maroons go to 1-0 in district play. Ankeny falls to 0-1, so it's Dowling and Sioux City East with 1-0 records in district play. The Maroons improved to 3-2 overall, and the Hawks will fall to 1-4 overall. And Ankeny now has to hope to get an at-large because you got to really win a lot of your games. You got to win out.
They played a tough schedule.
Yes, they have. Anything's possible.
Their power ranking is pretty decent, and because they've played some tough teams, they've had a gauntlet, and especially for the young kids. They've got such a young team that there's a bright future there for the Ankeny Hawks.
Certainly is. Final score: Dowling 42, Ankeny nothing. Right now, if we get updated scores, Centennial has knocked off Marshalltown. Ankeny Centennial 49, Marshalltown 7. So Centennial undefeated after 5 games. They're 5-0, 1-0 in district play. And at last report, just over 6 minutes remaining, it's Southeast Polk 21-16 over Fort Dodge. And Valley leading Thomas Jefferson and Council Bluffs 42-0. We'll take a break, come back, we'll have statistics, and we'll start our postgame show on Iowa Catholic Radio and the Central Iowa Sports Network. For Matt Mainring and John Chido, I'm Mark Amadale. Please stay tuned for the postgame show here on Iowa Catholic Radio and the Central Iowa Sports Network.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
Hi, Ron here, head coach of Westside Auto Pros. When your car's on the injured reserve, you want to get it back in the game as soon as possible. I know that. That's why you need to bring it here to Westside Auto Pros. I have a team of experts that can fix almost every automotive injury. Whether it's a fractured joint, a brake, or if your car just got its bell rung, no problem. We can even do a complete physical on your car to make sure it's game ready for the entire season. So bring your car to Westside Auto Pros and we'll get it back in the starting lineup in no time. Hey, you guys are dogging it back here. Let's move it, move it, move it.
There's no doubt about it. Saving feels great. At Mid-American Energy, we love saving too. Saving the environment by supporting tree planting, which improves air quality. Saving money by investing in wind energy, which keeps rates low. And saving you energy by providing tips to help make your home more energy efficient. Which means you can take those savings and put your energy into having fun. Saving definitely feels great. So does being obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Hi, I'm Chris from Fireplace Superstore. September and October are the best times of year to sit outside, and we still have a great selection of 2018 merchandise, like this OWLE Deep Seating group. Or maybe you'd prefer wicker, like this North Cape group. And fire pits. There's nothing better than sitting out on the deck in the fall with a nice fire going. But get here soon, because the sold tags are coming out quick, and you don't want to be too late.
For great other guys, they think they know what special means. At Godfather's Pizza, we do special, and we do it better. We add the T. There's a Godfather specialty pizza with your name on it. Classic combo, all meat combo, hot stuff, taco, yeah, even veggie and more. All of them piled high with the best toppings and 100% real cheese.
Valley Stadium here on the postgame show. Dowling final score tonight defeats Ankeny 42-0. Maroons had the running clock early in the second half as the Dowling goes to 1-0 in in district play. I hope that's right. Because we got to get we're gonna have to get him to reboot that. But the Maroons come out with a win as Dowling's Zach Waters ran for 3 touchdowns. Jason Murray with a 73-yard run. Zach Prey with a 1-yard run, and quarterback Zach Waters hit Jack Lyman with a 27-yard touchdown pass to start things off. And now we got the stats updated, and for the Maroons tonight, 458 yards of total offense, 158 for Ankeny, and Maroons with 133 yards in the air, Ankeny with 72 yards in the air, and Dowling with 325 yards on the ground, Ankeny with 86. And both teams penalized. Well, it was close in penalties. Dowling penalized 10 times, 65 yards. Ankeny 8 penalties for 68 yards as the teams are now heading to their respective sidelines. Dowling with the win 42-0. And let's go look at some of the individual items. Dowling with 19 first downs, Ankeny with 7. And tonight, how about this? Jason Murray, 17 carries, 234 yards, and a touchdown. What a night. And I'll tell you, he'll be the first guy to tell you, offensive line makes a big difference in that.
You know, and one of the things that Coach Wilson there and the staff was focused on as the week started was the offensive line and reinvigorating them to the game of football, and I think it got done this week.
Zach Waters, a Dowling quarterback, 8 carries for 48 yards, and he was 4 out of 8 passing for 96 yards and the touchdown to Jack Lyman. For Ankeny, Jace Bauer, 7 out of 17 passing with 76 yards and 1 interception, no touchdowns tonight. And leading rusher for Ankeny was Cale Boyd, 15 carries, 45 yards. Jace Bauer, the quarterback, 11 carries for 38 yards. Well, that young man that had all the rushing yards for Dowling, Jason Murray, 17 carries, 234 yards. He's down on the field with John Chido as we go to our Shields sideline report from our sideline reporter, John Chido. John, take it away.
Well, Mark and Coach, I have Jason Murray here. Jason, great night, 17 carries, 234 yards on the ground, 458 yards total of offense. Talk about your night tonight.
Oh, it was a great night for me, yeah. Offense did well. O-line did very well today. They did very good. And I just seen a hole, and I just kept going.
You know, after the block punt, you had your backs to the wall, and it was a great defensive stand down here at the south end zone. And then the first carry to you, it looked like you were going to get stopped in the backfield. You broke a nice tackle, then scampered down the sideline for about 70 yards. That was a great run. Tell us about that.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's supposed to be on the right side of the run, and then the big dude, I don't know his name, he came down so fast, and then I just did one cut back, and then he missed me, and I just seen daylight on the side that I would just juke that, and I just kept running, and then we had a long yard gain.
And he also had another nice long run, and it seems like the offensive line did a better job up front this week than in week 5 than the first 4 weeks. Tell us a little bit about that offensive line play.
O-line did very good. They just need talking to and not to because they had high heads and everybody was doubting them and stuff. So we just told them keep your heads up, and I said if y'all got it, I'm with y'all. So. Mm-hmm.
Well, Jason, congratulations, great night, and good luck next week against Lincoln.
Thank you.
All right, John Chido with Jason Murray, who had all those yards tonight, over 200 yards. Sometimes it's hard to even get that in a season, and he got that in one night. And congratulating the offensive line, Matt.
Yeah, he knows where to put the accolades, and the young man, as we've talked about, does just a great job of setting up those blockers and being a patient runner. And that's not something that is easy to coach or to learn as an athlete. This young man has it, and he's got quick feet, and he's able to go sideways and then create space and get up the sideline. I think he wore out the left side of the field tonight.
I think he did. It looks like it might be replaced. But let's go back down the field. John Chido has, somebody on the defensive side, and it's one of the captains, and that's Jack Keel. And, John, take it away with the Dowling captain, Jack Keel.
Yeah, we have Captain Jack Keel here. Jack, after the block punt, there was a tremendous defensive stand there, and they actually got an extra play with the penalty there, and you still were able to come up with a stop. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, we knew we had our backs against the wall. Coach Wilson's just been talking about how we have to play with more heart all week, and I think that was what we saw as our chance to prove to him and everyone else that our defense can make plays when we need to. It was just a big stop for us. We kept him to 0 the whole game, so it was good.
Yeah, congratulations on the shutout. That's a nice win and first game of district play. Now heading down the back stretch. I can't believe we're already talking about the back stretch of the season already. It goes by so quick. But it also seems like the intensity level was just up a notch tonight, and a lot more blitz packages. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so they put in a blitz package this week. They think I'm just pretty good when I get blitz. I get good timing off the ball, and Bossum saw it, so he called good plays, and we executed, so that really just helped us get in their backfield, not just for me, but for our whole D-line too.
You know, and I noticed a lot of, the quarterback for Ankeny would open one way and roll the opposite way, and that you guys really have to be disciplinary sound on defense, especially the linebacker play, staying at home and getting to your coverages. Tell us about that. You made a nice break on the ball too as well.
Yeah, sometimes it's hard when you see a fake the other way and they roll out, or when the quarterback's rolling and he's taking a while to throw, so you just want to blitz. But it just really takes a lot of discipline to stay in coverage. And I think as the game went on, we got a lot better at that. And like you said, we were able to get our hands on a few balls, so it turned out to be good.
Well, Jack, congratulations. Nice win, first round of district play. Good luck next week against Lincoln. Thank you.
All right, John Chido with Dowling captain Jack Keel, along with Jason Murray, who had a tremendous night. The Maroons win it by the score of 42-0 over the Ankeny Hawks. Maroons are 1-0 in district play as Ankeny falls to 0-1, and the Hawks are now 1-4 overall. Dowling now 3-2 overall. We'll take a break along with Matt Maindring. I'm Mark Amadale. John Chido will run his way up here to the press box high atop Valley Stadium, and we'll have our final segment coming up. We'll recap this game and talk about next week's games here on Iowa Catholic Radio and the Central Iowa Sports Network.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at Mid-American Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Building a strong community doesn't happen overnight. It takes a vision for the future, the ability to turn a challenge into a success, and individuals who inspire new generations of growth. Greater Des Moines has done a lot of growing over the years, and so have we. At Brick Gentry Law, your success is something that we create together. Thank you for making us a part of your community. Thank you for 50 years.
Why do I look for the seal? It's about trust. Whether I'm buying a car, hiring a contractor, finding a tax preparer, or an honest mechanic, the Better Business Bureau seal means this business meets high standards. When I see the seal, I know I'll get what I pay for. No more taking chances and no more worries. And I feel good about supporting local businesses. My life is so much easier knowing I can always trust BBB accredited businesses. It pays to look for the seal. See for yourself at bbb.org/Iowa.
Miss your hometown clothing store? The one that had it all? Everything to get the work done, all in one place? G&L Clothing is your hometown Iowa store. Stop in and see us. Or we're only a click or phone call away. Family owned for nearly a century. G&L Clothing. 1801 Ingersoll, Des Moines.
G&L Clothing. Your size, your style, we've got it all.
And welcome back to the postgame show here on Iowa Catholic Radio alongside Matt Maindring, Mark Amadale. John Chido just made his way back up. We've got a microphone for him. He can sit right down.
He's got to catch his breath.
Well, he's in shape now.
Though.
He's in shape.
We were talking about those cross-country guys.
Yeah. Here you go, John. Have a seat. We're live. We're on the air.
Your diet might be a little different than theirs, maybe. I'm not positive.
What a night it was for the Maroons, and great interviews with Jason Murray, Johnny, and of course Jack Keel. But you saw the intensity on the sideline, and tell us here in the booth and our listeners and the viewers about what you encountered on the Dowling sideline tonight.
Well, I can tell you the intensity level was from start to finish just excellent. It was high intensity, and I got to catch my breath. But
I could read a few spots here if you want me to.
But I saw Coach Pollock. When we have third down for Ankeny, he had the offense lineman up, ready to go, saying, "Hey, let's go again," and the tempo was just fantastic.
And they kept that up. They were consistent. Yes, there were some penalties. Maroons had 10 penalties tonight, Ankeny with 8. But they were able to overcome some of those penalties, John. The only drive stopper was when the Maroons recovered a fumble, and they went 3 and out due to a penalty right in the middle of that 3 and out. Yeah,
it seems like different from previous games when our backs were against the wall, that nice defensive stand. The penalties we were able to overcome that tonight, and that's something we haven't seen out of Dowling Catholic with the 2 losses to Valley and Centennial.
That is correct. Matt, what's your take on it as an ex-coach watching up here and watching what the Maroons went through last week, being stunned in that last minute and a half where the long run by Gates sealed the deal for Ankeny Centennial. The Maroons bounced back.
Right, they did, and you really check the mettle of the team, and tonight they showed, and they started to see some leadership out of some kids, and it is really dispersed about with Jason getting those opportunities and making plays happen, and Zach Waters at the quarterback position did a really good job of leading it. If you notice the game tonight, we really stretched the field. Coach Wilson stretched the field early to make room for Jason, and then as the game wore on, the offensive line wore on, and Jason piled up a lot of yards, but it was pass early.
Yes, it was.
We had the wind behind our backs, and we threw the ball, and we got them stretched out, and then we made lanes for Jason.
Certainly did, and Zach Waters tonight, 3 touchdowns rushing, and he threw a touchdown pass to Jack Lyman to lead Dowling. And the other quarterback, Zach Prey, came in and ran for a 1-yard run, and then Jason Murray on a 73-yard run. Kind of makes up for the one that was called back last week, I think, a little bit for him.
Yeah, Zach Prey had a nice series, and he threw a couple nice footballs out there, and a real confidence builder for him as well. And you never know how the season goes on and things happen, but he really had a nice night out there for the Maroons as well.
Well, that'll wrap up our show here tonight. Congratulations to the Maroons, a 42-0 win over Ankeny, and our thanks to everybody involved with the broadcast, including our supporters and sponsors on Iowa Catholic Radio, and of course for the Central Iowa Sports Network, CISN.TV. Our Shield Sideline reports were sponsored by them. Our thanks to Bose and the Florists. They were our sponsor in the Red Zone, along with Ashworth Vision, Construction Professionals, Dental Associates. Our thanks also to the fine folks at Catholic Tuition Organizations, Two Rivers Glass and Door. Our thanks to Tamia & Sons, and they will be involved next week with our broadcast in one way or another, and I have that promise from Mr. Mario Tamia. I said it on air tonight, and Skeffington's Formal Wear. So for everybody involved with the broadcast tonight, our thanks to our fine folks from the Central Iowa Sports Network, Pete Tarpey and his group, Ruben Garza, who is our webcast director here in studio, Connor Morris and Clayton Sampson. Thank you to both of them. And for John Chido, Matt Maynard, I'm Mark Amadale. Thank you for tuning in and listening to Dowling Catholic Football, our 42nd year here in Iowa Catholic Radio. Next week, we'll be at Hutchins Stadium, pregame at 6:30. Kickoff at 7. We'll be outdoors. We'll be out amongst the crowd at Hutchins Stadium with the Lincoln fans. And it's Dowling and Lincoln. The old rivalry is reunited next Friday night. So join us for that here on Iowa Catholic Radio and Central Iowa Sports Network. Have a good evening, everyone.
Schottenkirk Chevrolet's Power Price Truck and Crossover event featuring new 18 Silverado Double Cab LTs. Power lease, $259 per month lease.
Our price, $32,490.
New 18 Silverado Crew Cabs.